is holy and a Gideon. One love. So when the man comes, there will be no doom. One song. Have pity on those whose chances grow thin. There ain't no hiding place from the Father of creation. Yeah, yeah. One love. What about the one? One love. What about the let's get together and feel alright? And be done, so let's do it a little by little. Rise from your sleepless slumber. Yes, 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 yes. We're more than sand and the seashore. We're more than numbers. All together now. Wake up and live. Wake up and live now. You see one cocoa full of basket. Already you still live big today. Tomorrow you're buried in a casket. One cocoa full of basket. Yeah, yes. Already you still live big today. Tomorrow you're buried in a casket. Walk together now. Wake up and live. Yeah. Wake up and live. Keep on playing. Yeah, yeah. Break it down. Come on now. How's it feeling over there? Yeah, 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 yeah. Come on now. You gotta wake up and live. Life is one big road with lots of signs. Yes. So when you're riding through the ruts, don't you complicate your mind. Flee from hate, mischief and jealousy. Don't bury your dog, put your dream to reality. Yeah. All together now. Wake up and live. Yeah.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, and when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. I just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection. We're coming to you from the beautiful garden setting of the Ligani Club in Kingston, Jamaica.
Coming from Eden.
The Garden of Eden. Yes, this is the Morning Connection. Best 100 FM. Better music, better vibes. With your hosts, Minett Lawrence and Percival Palmer. Good morning and welcome to our listeners on air and online. Thank you very much for tuning in. Be with you. It's nice and cool out here.
It was very dark this morning coming down. That is something I've noticed. The night comes quickly. And in the morning, when you get up and you're looking, you're wondering, you're saying, oh, hey, look, it's still very dark. And it can trick, it tricks you in the morning.
You were tricked this morning?
No, I wasn't tricked this morning. I was up from before. Because I'm going, oh.
Where's my wife? Well, they say, he who findeth a wife. You've been saying that. So you lost a wife. What happened to he who loses a wife?
Boy, I've been a bad problem.
He loses a good thing.
He loses a very good thing. And remember, when you find a wife, the favor of the Lord follows after you as a gentleman. So I want favor. So I encourage men to get married. You really want favor?
No, you want business. That's right. Because you're a marriage officer.
No. I wasn't even thinking
Never
about
let it be said.
I wasn't thinking about that. But it's good to be alive. It's good. Good morning to our listeners. Those of us who join us. In the mornings, we really do appreciate the fact that you take time to listen to us. And we trust that we have added value to your life. Do you think we do that, Minett? In terms of add value to people's life, in terms of...
One or two persons have been very kind in their comments.
Right, that's true.
And the day we started this program, I don't know if you remember me saying, if one person is blessed, I feel I've done my job. Because that one person can be the key to 1 million, 10 million.
You know, that's true.
So I take it seriously.
That's true. If you can change one person, and God takes one person and uses one person and brings about a change. A person who is confident, a person who believes the word and begins to act on it and moves forward. Like a Martin Luther King Jr. or a Marcus Garvey, closer home, or a Minett Lawrence or a Lowell Lawrence.
Or a Percival Palmer.
Who just believes and begins to act on it, and it brings about change. It's like you throw a stone in a pond and the ripple effect
keeps expanding.
Expanding.
Just that a pond is small, so
let's think
of it as in the ocean.
Throw it in the ocean.
Drop a pebble in the ocean. I made the point because, one, we always try to encourage our listeners, and we speak from our experience. And I think that recognition of how the impact on one person can have a multiplier effect beyond your own imagining. It's what keeps teachers motivated.
Yeah, that's true.
So they can do their best by the one student who is in the corner and look like he ain't going anywhere.
Yes.
But you, in your spirit, know that there's some potential in there that if I can unlock it. And I would imagine that the teachers who were responsible for educating people like Bill Gates or the technologists, the ones who have, through their innovation, created such a global impact. Their teachers, from the kindergarten right to the ones who presided over their tertiary education, must reflect and say, well, I'm sure glad I gave something to that child, because who knows, a little less or a little more of something would have created a different result. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, but
the teacher, the pastor, the counselor, the ones who can
take time
speak
to
into your life
encourage and mentor
times.
people.
Yeah.
It just speaks to the fact of mentorship. I tell you something, February 14th is going to be a very significant day in the life of somebody that I've mentored. And
you mentored Valentine?
No, I did not. I don't. But it's in. I didn't. That's interesting. I never.
You didn't realize it
never
Valentine's Day. I thought somebody getting proposed to or something, getting married or what.
No, somebody's been released from prison.
On the 14th of February?
Yeah.
Oh, that is a fortuitous date.
Yeah, I thought about it, and I'm saying it's just the impact that you have on persons, and the fact of it hit me this morning.
To be
God is not
released.
mocked.
Is it in Jamaica? Is
in
Jamaican
Jamaica,
prison?
yeah.
Okay.
God
Also,
says
that's the same individual you've spoken about.
all this
Are you
time.
going to bring him to visit us?
I will.
If he'll come.
If he'll come, but it's interesting. You sow a seed, you encourage somebody, and they forever remember you. I was reflecting. God is not mocked. God is not mocked.
Be not deceived.
Be not deceived. God is not mocked. Because
Why do you say that in relation to your mentoring efforts? Or
because
is it in relation to that?
it comes both ways. Because what the seed you sow, you expect to you get a reward from it. And some of the times you don't know what the reward will be, but you sow the seed. So you have to be careful in terms of the seeds that you sow.
All right. So here, the mocking of God is the sowing of the seed. If you think that,
Yeah, be not deceived. I just woke up with that thought when I'm just reflecting on what I see happening nationally, internationally.
well, let me tell you, right in that vein, I was entertaining myself this morning with.
You were entertaining yourself.
Yes, because every time I see certain matters reported on, it just gives me joy to see how things are moving in the direction that the Lord had set, but which nobody really felt that such a thing could come to pass. I'm looking for it. In today's paper, Minister Malahu Fort, there are two things in today's paper that fall in that vein. I'm going to start with the one that is probably more, the one that persons could relate to more easily. You know that there was a killing of a 14-year-old child in 100 Man Lane? Is that what the area is called?
Off Reddy's Road.
Off 100 Lane, on 100 Lane. Okay, I see it. 100 Lane, off Reddy's Road. Residents are protesting the fatal shooting of a 12-year-old boy, whom they say the police burst into their
house?
It seemed like there's, I'm going to say compound for want of a better word.
It's a compound, it really is.
Okay, so it seems like it's a compound.
Yes, it's
right.
So you walk down the lane, but then you have all these houses, and in one house you could have many houses.
Many households.
Yeah,
right.
many households, many people living in a yard.
Okay. All right. So it seems like, and there's an entrance to the yard.
Right.
And I suppose, so that's how it looked to me. So the people are complaining that the police burst into this area and just started shooting, and there was a child.
Indiscriminately.
Yeah, and there was a child sitting in an open area. They said he was playing a game on his phone, and he was shot fatally. The person who the Gleaner is quoting says, pure headshot him get. That's not random. That's a fair amount of accuracy. And they say that his father was killed in his sleep 7 years ago in the same yard. Yeah, it seemed like the same yard. And they complain that the police compromised the crime scene in full view of onlookers. The little boy blood on their shoulders, a pure headshot them give him. The little boy marrow leak out. Them start cover the blood with sand and lift him up like dead dog, throw him in at the jeep back and gone. Me know them say when a police fatal shooting, they are not to trouble the body or the scene. Quotes a resident. That's not somebody who is gathering knowledge from CSI. This is somebody who has been present in those, has witnessed other things and have experienced that you're supposed to leave the body in the shows up for police shooting and so on. That's the story. The police, they say, seem surprised that he was only 14. When we tell them a little boy, them start ask, how old is he? A regular routine for them push the gate and fire gunshot. Them could have killed a baby or elderly. Them no business. Them talk say any boy around here kill picnic. I'm gotta get
the man around here kill picnic where them are gonna do them.
Anybody
and them are
around
gonna come
here
do it.
And them come to anyway. Apparently the police don't really care what age you are. If they think you are shooting, they will shoot you. So road has been blocked and so on. Heavy military and police present swoop down on the community, quickly disperse the crowd, clear the blockage, and it continues. They say it was a joint police-military operation at about 1:45 p.m. on Wednesday, January 10th. That's yesterday.
Yeah, that's yesterday. Yeah.
Right. The police report that a 9mm pistol was recovered from the scene. The residents say no such thing. The firearm was planted on the teen. They allege that is a Pembroke Hall High School. It's your neighborhood school.
Yeah, that's our school.
A Pembroke Hall High School student, and he was just sitting in his yard playing a game on his phone. You hear how that story go? Sounds very typical, right? Okay. Over in the other side of Jamaica, where you saw the police cordon off an area in the region of Jamaica House.
It's right in front of Jamaica House.
Yes.
A
whole different type of police operation was carried out. Rapid response to shooting at Jamaica House entrance. Police. The police are defending their position. This story don't really tell you why they are defending their position, but when you hear it and you contrast it to what happened in 100 Lane, you will get a sense of the two different Jamaicas and the two different police force that you have. Even when you think about George comments about what happened in Spanish Town with the policeman when we were on air yesterday. Police are defending their position to a daring early morning robbery at the entrance to Jamaica House yesterday, during which two men, including the son of a prominent businessman, were shot and injured. Yeah, but not even that the police not tell you. And the two men were robbed of cash and jewelry about 3:01 a.m., very precise onto the time, when they stopped at the Hope Road entrance to change a flat tire on the high-end vehicle in which they were traveling, according to police sources. They were treated at hospital and released hours later. The Gleaner has opted not to publish their names. The police say investigators are rigorously pursuing all leads to identify the perpetrators. Investigators have secured CCTV footage that may be pivotal to the investigation, the police said. The incident triggered wide public discussion, especially about the response time by the police. Now, this is not saying that the police responded impressively or that they were late in responding. It's just saying people are discussing police response time to this incident that took place at the entrance. I imagine if you're on the road and you have a problem and you need to pull off and change a tire, changing it right by the police post at the entrance to Jamaica House is a good pick.
Would make you feel secure?
It would make you feel secure, but it also means you're right under the eyes of the police. In a statement yesterday, the police said the robbery was interrupted about 3:02 a.m. So you know they're picking that off the CCTV footage. Following the response by cops assigned to the security post at Jamaica House, who responded to the explosions they heard. One of the responding cops discharged 6 bullets at the fleeing robbers, law enforcement sources told the Gleaner last night. A team from Indicom was dispatched to the location about 4:11 a.m., the police disclosed, 4:11. So that's like just an hour or so. It is standard operating procedure for Indicom, which has oversight responsibility for the security forces, to be called to a scene when a cop fires his weapon. You get the feeling that Indicom was in the yard?
No, they wasn't there. Cause the lady,
At 100 Lane.
Cause the lady said it. She says them not supposed to take up the body.
They take up the body, then put sand on the blood,
And there was no, and you see?
no cording off of anything. The only time you see the big show of this big response is when they came to quell the citizens' protests, because it says joint military and police descended on the scene to clear the blockage and quell the protest of the people. Meanwhile, at Jamaica House,
I saw it. Remember I told you? I told you.
and what went down at 100 Lane was 1:45 p.m. We would have said middle of the day.
Yeah.
So there should be no hardship in securing the response of available personnel.
You'd say that, and I don't know why they not
4:11
planted that, you know. Be ye not deceived.
That's why.
Ye not deceived.
Don't deceive yourself. God is not mocked.
God is not mocked. Whatever a man sows,
Actually, also
that
reap. So more into the timeline for what happened with the son of the prominent businessman, because I feel that those things matter. Those details are important. Statement from the police said a patrol team from the St. Andrew Central Division arrived at the location at 3:16 a.m. The robbery was interrupted at 3:02. And by 3:16 a.m., 7 minutes after the robbery was reported, a team from St. Andrew Central was at the location. Upon their arrival, police said one of the victims was assisted by cops into a private vehicle and promptly taken to a hospital.
You know what the private vehicle was?
What another?
My father. Because it's on Twitter.
Okay.
It's on Twitter.
Mind the Prime Minister accuse you of mental delusion because you're eating from Twitter.
No,
Social media feeding you.
Because it
The
know
other
it's there.
victim, who had fled the scene during the shooting, was located shortly after and also received emergency medical care. The JCF emphasizes the rapid response and comprehensive action taken by all its units involved, demonstrating our commitment to public safety and our responsiveness to criminal activities, the statement said. Further, the police said victim support and investigative procedures were initiated immediately to ensure the well-being of the victims and the integrity of the crime scene. Victim details and the current state of their health have been provided to the families, and necessary support systems are in place for their recovery. The police are asking members of the public who have information about the robbery to come forward as we work to bring the perpetrators to justice. Meanwhile, at 100 Lane, or 100 Man Lane.
100 Man Lane, 100 Man.
Well, the
no,
cleaner
100
call
man.
it 100 Lane.
100 Lane.
100 Lane.
100 Lane.
Yes,
100
where the
Lane.
man come
100
from.
Man.
Is another place named
100 Man police station in Portmore.
A different place.
Yes.
All right.
100, yeah, 100
Okay.
Lane, off Red Hills Road.
Minett live in the third Jamaica. Not the first or the second. You see what we're doing in this nation.
Yeah, because
I
it's
must
two
say-
different realities. I'm glad that they put it there.
And it's in the same
the
edition
same-
of the paper.
Yeah.
And it reads like it's two different countries.
Two different Jamaicas. Two different realities. And we are talking about that we are doing well.
If I were in the story that played out at the gate of Jamaica House, I would say we're doing well.
Of course. No, but
But if I am one of the weeping women at 100 Lane,
over my son, my 14-year-old. Granted, you know, and this is another reality. Why we, and I want to, the whole thing of sowing and reaping, we have sown seeds in this nation, and we are seeing the harvest big time in terms of the trees. The Galatians 6:7, that's where, yeah, we are seeing it big time. And no wringing of hands and throwing up our, boy,
it's not sprinkling of dust.
and weeping if we do not turn and change the direction, if we do not repent. Because you see, all of us in this nation have been complicit in terms of where we are now. And you saw what you read yesterday in terms of what
in 1861
and the
Americans,
and
the day of humiliation.
Yes.
Yeah, prayer and fasting.
So
we need to
move in that direction. Yeah. Every single individual, because it's not them or us, it is we together, and we need to understand that. And we can explore it more, but when I know for a fact, I remember talking to a retired policeman, and he was saying to me, in terms of one of the realities, he was in the political hustlings now, and he was saying, I'm going around and meet the people and the person, you see that youth, he was one of the top shotter, you know.
And it was a small kid.
It was a youth. So him say, okay, so me can do for him, say, if we could have get a pair of shoes and 2 pants, would all right. A pair of shoes. I know the style of dress is the slippers now, because I think because they can't really afford the cost of our real shoes and
some of those
pants.
slippers cost more than shoes.
Me know, but
it's just trendy. I know we'd like to think that it's
not trendy, because some of them are very expensive. They are whatever names. Yeah. But he was saying, so if talking to that with him, say, boss man, you know, he must say elder. This is what we would have need. That youth was a top shotter, was not more than 18 years old.
Oh, you want to hear the rest of the story? Put on your microphone so you can get in.
No, retire, but you can understand. You can understand why.
Yeah. Oh, he died?
Yeah. He died.
Was killed?
Yeah, man. You know, if you're shot and at some point in time,
that lived by the gun.
Die by the gun.
But I understand what you're emphasizing is that the police are not fooled by the age of a person who is presented as someone in the business.
Yeah, because
that doesn't really cause
some of them
any...
it doesn't anymore.
Yeah.
And neither for the women too. I mean, we have gun women too.
Yes, that women are involved. But look at those women, how they viciously beat the 14-year-old girl.
So
one of them.
So the thing of what we sow, we are reaping it, because family life has broken now. Big time.
We see, Percy, we know that because that is the monster we're chasing and that we need to gain control of. All the different expressions of the breakdown of family and the rebellion against God, like it or not, that's what it is. It pops up everywhere. And when the states of emergency were being used as the color on crime, I know we spoke about it here, and I know I said that, Mr. Prime Minister, you talk about organized crime being being the driver of this. When you think you have a handle on organized crime, you will see an upsurge in just other forms of violence. And if you put your foot on the gun, you're going to see stabbings and different things showing up, because it's not about one type. It's not about the symptom. All right, we got a signal which we got to pay attention to. 6:59, we're going into the first break of the morning.
I know it started
please stay
heavy,
with us.
But
yeah, we're coming back. It's a day for heavy discussions.
Best of fame, 100.1, 100.3, 100.5, 7 and 9. Hey, yeah. You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I've ever met. You're simply the best.
Bess FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Today, we are having a conversation about a key agency in improving the social fabric of the Jamaican society, the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, better known as the CPFSA. Hi, I'm Courtney Campbell, and joining me for this interesting discussion are Kristen Leng from the Child Protection and Family Services Agency and Richard Panton from the Transformation Implementation Unit, who will share useful information on the work of the CPFSA and plans to transform the operations of the agency to better serve the needs of the wards of the state. You know what? Let's get straight into the discussion. Tell us a little about the CPFSA.
Well, the Child Protection and Family Services Agency was actually formed out of a merger with the Child Development Agency, that used to be the CDA, and the Office of the Children's Registry. Our mission is to contribute to the well-being of Jamaica's children through family empowerment, collaborating with service partners, and regulating alternative child services. We want to see Jamaica's children achieve their full potential in nurturing environments with full access to developmental and social services. Here at the CPFSA, we believe that a stable family is the best environment for every child.
So, what are some of the programs available?
We actually have several programs available to support children who are in need of care and protection. These include our mobile mental health services, psychological services, foster care, adoption, and the Living in Family Environments, that's the LIFE program, as well as our newly implemented behavior modification program. In caring for our children, we have programs designed to safeguard them and enhance their well-being, including Jamaica's free 24/7 child abuse reporting hotline 211, which is for persons to report suspected cases of child abuse.
So I'm aware that the Transformation Implementation Unit is assisting the CPFSA on its transformation journey. How is that actually being done?
Well, we are supporting the CPFSA under the ICT and efficiency pillar of the transformation program. The ICT expansion project focuses on making better use of technology to drive improvement in the delivery of public services. So what this means is that when someone calls 211 to report cases of suspected child abuse, the data is instantly made available to the relevant teams, enabling swift and effective response. We have been working with the CPFSA in other areas of technology as well. Through the project, the TIU has also provided over 160 new computing devices to the CPFSA, including 46 devices directly to wards of the state to assist with their schooling. We also provided a customized mobile health unit to enhance CPFSA's mental health program. This unit has the necessary computer equipment on board for health professionals to effectively assess and treat children in state care. And finally, we are assisting the agency by outfitting its therapeutic centers and residential childcare institutions with sensory equipment to make it more capable of addressing the mental health of children who need this intervention.
So what is this going to mean for the persons involved?
With these new resources, we can provide a wider array of services tailored to meet the diverse needs of children and families that we serve. The new systems and programs specifically target the mental and psychological wellness of children who have suffered abuse, while acknowledging that their needs often extend beyond immediate physical safety.
So, what can the public and clients expect from the CPFSA going forward? And how can they help to keep children safe?
Many children in Jamaica face challenging realities in their families and communities that may require the intervention of the CPFSA. In our efforts to keep these children safe, it is sometimes required that they be removed from their homes and placed in environments that are more suitable for their growth and development. While we prioritize placing these children with family members and other responsible adults that are familiar to them, some children will be placed in a residential childcare facility, such as a children's home or place of safety. Participating in one of our family care programs means providing them with a stable home environment, contributing to their well-being, showering them with love, and protecting them from abuse. We encourage every eligible person to consider signing up, especially our empty nesters, and anyone who not only has space in their heart, but space in their homes for a child.
And that brings us to the end of this enlightening discussion. My guests were Kristen Leng and Richard Panton. We hope this feature has shed some light on the vital work of the CPFSA and the importance of partnership in building a better public sector. I am Courtney Campbell. Thanks for joining us, and remember, each one of us has a role to play in protecting our children and strengthening our families.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Greetings! Bitter Sugar returns to Bess FM. Wednesdays, 6 to 8 p.m. Tune in as we put forward Bitter Sugar. Yes, your host, Brother Miguel Lorne, as we ride. This is education, African fundamentalism, purity of the race, self-reliance, repatriation. These are topics we're going to go into. Tune in, Bess FM, as we put forward Bitter Sugar once more.
Isn't it strange how princesses and kings?
What should a taxi service do for you? On-Time Taxi Service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all. You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Half a tree, 100, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try calling her, cause trust me.
Waiters, Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
Ah, what a relief.
Yes, Jamaica and the world. You want us back? We are back. The Breakthrough Deliverance Ministry, led by me, the Prophet Mark Stewart, right here on Bess 100 FM. This and every Thursday night from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Yes, it's War Room Thursday. Come on out and join us, each and every one, on Bess 100 FM, 100.1, 357 and 9. Come on out. Join me, the Prophet, Reverend Mark Stewart, and of course, the boss shot, Apostle Marshall. Come for your healing, breakthrough, deliverance, the prayer, the miracle, the word, the testimony, and so much more. Yes, my friends, Bess 100 FM, Bess 100 FM, War Room Thursday, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Join us. We are going to lick it till the boss.
Vejan Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Vejan Printers, your best choice in printing.
Live, camera, volume. Live it up Fridays on Bess 100 FM. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with I, Ibi Lion, each and every Friday. Giving you the better vibes, heard everywhere.
Half a tree. One already, 200. Ready, mama? Ready. Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Ask Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
Bess 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8888 276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning. Welcome back. This is the Morning Connection. Today we're coming to you live from the beautiful gardens of the Ligony Club in New Kingston, Jamaica. It is the day when Percival and Minett and the producer visit with our club family. I say our club family,
yes,
including you in it. Yeah, because it really is like a little home away from home, set in the heart of New Kingston. Beautiful garden setting. The sun this morning is just, it's at the right temperature for me. There's a cool breeze, and the sunshine is just kind of warm and comforting. That's how I feel, sitting here.
And we don't have to have a standing sun shield.
Oh, the producer doesn't have to block the sun from me this morning. I tell you, it's a beautiful morning. The club is just starting to life. You're hearing those who are exercising. You can hear the beat of the squash ball coming from, one side, and one or two diners are coming in with their coffee and their juice. It's just beautiful and relaxing. Exactly how you imagine a day, an early morning visit to a club, a private club would be.
Okay.
It's peaceful. It's just slowly coming awake, and it's very Caribbean. We're looking at palm trees, and the tennis courts are in front of us, and the producer is in front of me. And look, Percival, when we got here this morning, it was still dark. We had to use the lights that decorate the mango tree from the Christmas decoration.
Oh, they're still there.
And they're still on, just looking very cool and beautiful. It's an amazing morning. I can't describe it enough to draw you out so you can give us a visit. Of course, you know that the Ligony Club is the largest sporting facility, I think, in the English-speaking Caribbean. We have 6 squash courts, 8 tennis courts, large swimming pool, full-service gymnasium, walking trails, beautiful garden, and we have some hotel rooms to boot, 30-odd rooms, which if you are in town and you need to overnight for a meeting, or you're here on business and you want a quiet place, centrally located, heart of New Kingston, you can't believe that you're not out in the countryside at one of the resorts, because we have a lot of land, excellent parking, and a restaurant which serves food to die for. We're certainly looking forward to our Jamaican breakfast this morning. Last week, Thursday, they had pickled mackerel.
Oh, they did?
Yes, which was delicious. That's what I had, I think. Yeah, you had ackee and saltfish, if I recall correctly. And the ladies who serve us here. Okay, so, we don't get served by... Are there men on staff? I've not seen any.
No.
There was one guy
who came.
I've not seen him recently. But suffice it to say, beautiful place to be. And Minett and Percival, love it, love it, love it. On the Thursdays when we're here, it's like a little slice of paradise. So thank you to the Ligony Club and to JD's Urban Pub for looking after us on Thursday mornings. I've done my duty by our sponsors. Is there anything you need to add?
No.
And when the fruits are delivered to the table, I will show you, because we do get taken care of in the morning.
That's you yourself and Loyal today.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Percy is doing humiliation and fasting. We're borrowing from Abraham Lincoln and America of 1861, when they saw that, boy, the Civil War thing and what's happening in the country, we need God. Many of us understand that God has a very important role to play in the unfolding of our affairs, but either we don't know how to engage him. I believe that there's a lot of ignorance.
You think so?
I think so. Not knowing how to engage. And then to the point you made, we are not sincere in our efforts. So the scripture that says, do not be deceived, God is not mocked. Whatever you sow, you shall reap it. An understanding of sowing. We are always sowing. You sitting there doing nothing, you're still sowing because you're sowing nothing, and you shall reap nothing. Those who sow bad seeds and think that, oh, I'm doing this for the benefit of my family and myself, and it's each man for himself, and it's a jungle out there, and dog must eat dog, and only the strong survive. Many things we say to justify selfish behavior. But we're sowing selfish seeds.
You're going to get a selfish.
You're going to get something that you can't eat.
You can't eat it. Oh, my Lord.
In fact, you know what? You are really cannibalizing yourself when you sow like that. Sowing only to your own self and your own passions and your ambitions, and
so
you got to climb on the next man to prosper.
And that has never been our way. That's why in the African peoples have the concept that you call
Ubuntu. I know you want to call it something else.
Ubuntu.
But yes.
Because you are, we are.
Because you are, we are.
Yeah. So, and that's a very important thing. But you see this thing I'm sewing, my dear sister? Live and direct in our faces, we are seeing it unfolding.
Well, I want to take you to one this morning.
Yes, you want to.
I got all excited. I saw the word entrapment on the front page.
What does that mean? What does that mean in terms of legal sense? Yeah.
Yes. Well, Jamaica does not have a legal doctrine that speaks to entrapment. In some jurisdictions, if a person is manipulated into committing a crime, it is a defense. That's
what Buju was saying.
That's what Buju was saying, which could have worked in America, where they do acknowledge it and use it. They acknowledge it and it goes to mens rea. If you are being seduced into wrongdoing, you're not operating under your own conscious, free exercise of free will.
They said the devil entrapped us.
That's why the honeypot that we were talking about this morning.
The honeypot. That statement.
Yes,
but that has been said in the States.
In espionage.
Use the honeypot.
Yeah, man, you cloud the man's mind with something beautiful and seductive, and before you know it, he's spilling secrets and trying to. It's what was being done to Samson.
Yes, that's what happened to him, actually.
Yeah, he was honeypotted.
It was honey.
So even though you walk into a situation, you're not operating under your own steam, and the extent to which law enforcement use that as a strategy to draw people into wrongdoing, the courts frown on it. No, a man must be shown to have deliberately, intentionally gone into the business of law breaking. Not because you seduce him, or to some extent it's like blackmail, because when it comes around to revelation of, aha,
I got you.
Yes, you're now saying to the person, I have you on tape, I have you here, I have you there, and you're ready now to do a plea bargain.
And that is why was always so good seed, so nobody knows nothing to say about you.
They have to work hard to entrap you.
That you are that's why integrity is important,
I mean, even speaking for myself, were it otherwise, I'd be long dead and forgotten, and every now and then someone say, remember that girl? Because the efforts that were made
to induce you to entrap
to draw me into questionable
activities. Wow. Yeah. So entrapment is the action of tricking.
So one of the persons who you should not hear saying entrapment is a lawmaker.
Because they know what it is.
Because they're the ones who create the trap.
Pardon, sir?
So if you are creating a trap, and you are falling victim to the trap. I don't think entrapment is the word you should be touting.
What?
Maybe incompetence, maybe foolish. Incompetent and foolish are my top takes, because if I set up a system and me same one get caught by the system and a complaint say I was entrapped, you should be laughed out of town. Or maybe you should be congratulated for creating such a good system that it can catch even the one who
set it up. God is not mocked.
And that's why your scripture this morning is so on point. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. Because we do these things and we are just playing to the audience. The Machiavellian principle that you like to quote so much. Virtue for the appearance of virtue. It's really not serious. For the virtue itself. So we set up an integrity commission, and now the government itself that write the law that is supposed to oversee monitoring their misbehavior are saying they've been entrapped and there's a gap in the law.
What kind of foolishness that?
Percival, only Malawi Ford could explain it to you. But yes, there must have been, you know, see how we are being manipulated. There is a report which I believe government officials who parliamentarians, they know what the report will say. But
she's preparing the wicket. She's preparing the wicket because she started.
Yes.
She's been doing something, you know.
But she and Minister Chuck are like in a dance, mesmerizing us. It's like snake charming.
And the people there might say, hey, it's all right, we know. So we just away.
What eats snake? Mongoose?
Yes.
They're trying to snake charm mongoose.
No.
Mongoose is only seeing a meal. And you are there dancing, thinking, I will confuse him by my wicked moves. It's not working. It's not working. But
so
the moment...
What she said that
All right, let me explain what the minister appears to be saying. There is a known principle of law that in any organization, you cannot use the same person to investigate, prosecute, and adjudicate.
Right.
That's a known principle of law.
You can't be justice, juror, and things.
You can't be judge, juror, executioner, and prosecutor.
In one person.
In one, right. So in government regulatory institutions like the FSC, the FTC, the OUR, and INDECOM, and clearly the Integrity Commission, where they have multiple roles that they play under different sections of the law. She's saying of the Integrity Commission that when the office that takes declarations from public servants, when that office is verifying a declaration, there is a difficulty they're perceiving in distinguishing between a verification request and an investigative process. She is claiming that there is a gap in the law. Well, she should know, because who would know better where the gaps are? She's claiming that parliamentarians who get a letter asking for clarification and respond innocently find themselves in an investigation by reason of either how they respond or how the letter is couched. She gave no examples, so we have no idea what she's talking about as a practical matter. Because remember now, nobody has actually been charged with illicit enrichment. No report has been made concerning an investigation. I think what they're trying to say is that, okay, maybe it's all of us. Maybe all of us who got a letter for clarification and answered were really being investigated and don't know it. And it's nonsense, because the Integrity Commission had already come out and said when they are pursuing their investigation, they notify the persons in writing that an investigation is being pursued. And even Miss Malawi Ford, who has sat as a judge in the parish courts and who was a prosecutor in the DPP, she well knows that there are clear markers in how you address each process that would tell a person this is what is happening. She's claiming that people's constitutional rights to due process are being compromised by this vagueness, this blurriness between a verification process and an investigatory process.
All right, let's take it down to street level.
Mm-hmm.
If me working and I get $2 million a year.
Yes.
I tell you that I spend
$500,000
no, $1.8 million for expenses.
Yes.
And at the end of the year, me have $2 million. When we get the $2 million from?
What did Christ say to the man who had a fantastic return?
You're a great sir.
You're a great servant. No, but it would mean that your $200,000 that you had left
became
the subject of a bread and fish multiplication.
Oh,
so you had, and you need to show them. Say, listen, I went to the master and I showed him my little basket of 2 fish and he multiplied it.
And feed 5,000.
And fed 5,000.
No, but I am just saying.
God is not mocked you here.
No, but you see, you have an expression that you use, the imaginations of men. I could even say, Brother God says, because you think that allow the fool.
Mercy, oh Lord. Oh, okay. This is the argument they're making in Parliament. There are concerns that a gap in legislation may have resulted in parliamentarians and public officials unknowingly and unofficially being investigated for possible illicit enrichment through the verification process of their statutory declarations. So already we know the defense that they're coming up with. How can you be unknowingly and unofficially investigated? You file your declaration, it don't add up. The people write you and say, can you explain so and so? You're calling that an unofficial investigation. I would quote, I'm going to make a recommendation to Ms. Malahoo Fort and anyone who wants to dive deeper into this. In 2017, Justice Pusey of the Supreme Court wrote a judgment in the case of Carousel and the Spectrum Management Authority and OUR, in which the same Ms. Malahoo Fort made an argument that letters written by the OUR and the SMA, which were asking some questions and actually used the word investigation in it, that those letters were not an investigatory process. They were just a polite indication to the citizen that something was about to happen. And you know what the judge ruled? The judge ruled that she was right, that these questions were being asked quite appropriately by a regulator who had powers to ask questions, and that until the citizen is harmed, the citizen can't complain. So, Ms. Malahoo Fort, the call of entrapment is too early. Go back and read the judgment which you got from Justice Pusey when you stood in court and declared that a regulator asking questions which it has the right to ask cannot be taken to task if it make a mistake in the asking, if it use words that suggest it's doing something else. It is to be forgiven until the citizen actually suffer harm.
Well, it's now 7:30.
We'll marinate that one.
We are not going to suffer any harm.
No harm, because we're going to eat some delicious fruits. I hold them up.
You're going to eat your fruit.
Pineapple, papaya, melon, cantaloupe, another kind of melon, honeydew.
Honeydew melon.
And what looks like some segments of orange, Jamaican fruits for the morning connection. We take our break? Yes, we'll be right.
Best FM 100.1, 100.3, 100.5, 7 and 9. Hey, yeah.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I've ever met. You're simply the best.
Bess FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
1, 2, 3, believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. You hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
I try and call you, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
Ah, what a relief.
Greetings. Bitter Sugar returns to Bess FM. Wednesdays, 6 to 8 p.m. Tune in as we put forward Bitter Sugar. Yes, your host, Brother Miguel Lorne, as we ride. This is education, African fundamentalism, purity of the race, self-reliance, repatriation. These are topics we're going to go into. Tune in, Bess FM, as we put forward Bitter Sugar once more.
Isn't it strange how princesses and kings?
This is your beloved Pastor Percy from the Morning Connection. Support our commitment to Jamaica by joining us on Wednesday mornings at 7:30 when we pray for the nation. Show us you care. Advertise with us. For more information, call our offices at 876-276-8935.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales, shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats Bess FM.
Welcome back to the Morning Connection. Be not deceived, God is not mocked. Whatever a man sows, that
shall he also reap.
Yeah.
And that's not a curse or a trick. That's a law. Like how you have law of gravity, that's a law. That one of the things that God set to maintain integrity in his created domain. So, the complaint from none other than Justice Minister and...
Not just a minute.
Yes. Listen, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck raised the issue while claiming that the Commission at times overreaches in requesting information he believes is private. Mm-hmm. When the OUR was asking us questions like who signed on bank accounts and various things which had nothing to do with the telecoms operations.
Mm-hmm.
We hadn't even started operating yet where you could say they were looking into how monies were coming into the company.
Mm-hmm.
But they had all kinds of deep, deep questions. And we were objecting to the questions on the basis that there was no jurisdiction in law for them to go there in the absence of some specific allegation of wrongdoing.
Okay.
I remember Miss Malahoo Fort as Attorney General arguing that we were being presumptuous in challenging the regulator, which has statutory powers to do its job. And here is the citizen refusing to answer because there were some questions they asked about the banking arrangements of a connected entity which was not the licensee and had no involvement in what was going on in terms of being under the jurisdiction of the OUR. So the OUR couldn't write to me as a licensee and ask me questions about Percy when there is no allegation connecting Percy to my activities. So stock response from none other than Minett Lawrence was, cannot answer this question on the basis that it would breach the constitutional rights of a person who is not a part of the company or a part of the investigation.
I don't know nothing about your thing.
Absolutely, and that such person has not consented to the release of the information because I knew, and it continues to be the law, that a person's financial and private data are all private and confidential unless they consent to the release of it or unless there is a court order
or investigation
or some competent authority has demanded it. So when they called on my company to answer questions about somebody else, that was my response. Miss Malahoo Fort was outraged. Even the court itself was, but that the regulator has the right to ask these questions. This law gives them the authority. And here is a citizen refusing to answer. I think maybe we taught them something because they're using the same argument now to say that the commission asking the declarant certain questions is overreaching because that information is private.
Yeah, but if my memory serves me right, because I've had to make declarations.
What is private?
And if them ask everything, and but it's because they think that if you want to hide something, you put it through some family,
a spouse or whatever.
Or some children.
But the point that's being missed here is that when you are in the remit of the Interrogatory Commission, nothing is private.
Okay.
The first thing is your declarations are not public documents.
Right.
So it's not as if everybody can go and look at it.
So them said that's why they're talking about the gaps.
This is why, so now it's a gap in the law.
It's a gap in the law now.
Because when the Interrogatory Commission is doing its job properly and asking the necessary questions, which is going to force them to expose the truth if they answer it at all, they want to hide behind privacy laws. Interesting. Chuck said this was invasive and that it may be inappropriate and unlawful while inviting Solicitor General Marlene Aldred to expound on the point. So when he had reached the limit of the absurd argument he was making, he tried to get the Solicitor General to join him. However, says the Gleaner, who realized that Aldred was not prepared to go that far, Aldred sought to clarify her position, noting that there have been instances in which a review of a statutory declaration by the Commission's Director of Information and Complaints turns into an investigation by the Director of Investigation. So you see the two processes that I spoke to. One is the commissioner who handles information and complaints will ask for clarification. Give me more information so I can verify what you put in your declaration.
What you in or we put it there?
What you put. So any clarification must come from you. Only you can clarify it. Precisely. And already you see that the Interrogatory Commission has separated the functions.
Yeah.
Because they have information and complaints in one shop and then investigation in another. The Solicitor General is saying the review of a declaration by the man who takes care of information can turn into an investigation by the Director of Investigation, which means when you answer the director over here and the information you give him does not actually verify anything, it makes it more likely that something has gone wrong.
Something.
He sends it next door to the Director of Investigation.
Brethren, this is not adding up. Because remember, the declaration is simply adding.
It's just a mathematical exercise.
It's adding up.
Yes.
So if you say last year, no, me I put it down to grass so
yes,
people
please,
understand.
so people understand
so
what's going on.
Last year, I report that I have a car, I have a house, these are my investments, this is what my income is.
Mm-hmm.
This year, I have the same car, house, investment, but I noticed that the investment's gone up by so and so. Where
that money
come from?
Yeah.
That is all it is, Where did it come from?
You can't
did you
say,
get a gift?
You can't say I sold the house and got cash.
Right.
And the house, which I put at 18 million this year, when I sold it later on in the year, it was really 30 million. So I got an increase, and I have converted it. It's that simple mathematical exercise.
So when they are trying to, the word is obfuscate, yes.
Couldn't you just say muddy the waters? Why you want to obfuscate?
They obfuscate the same thing. Yes. Like dirty in the water.
Yes.
They are showing all the water is clear, and they are showing all kind of things.
And they're pointing a finger at their own prime minister. That's what they're doing, They're pointing a finger at the prime minister. They're saying, well, it looked like the prime minister was being investigated and he never knew, because he thought he was answering verification questions. Because we know for sure, of all the parliamentarians, he is the one of whom it's been said his report cannot be published as required by law.
2 years in a row. 2 years in a row.
So right now, by their own floundering and posturing, they have made it abundantly clear that something to do with illicit enrichment is stalking our prime minister. That's what they've done by making these arguments, by saying, because the prime minister came out, he said, I got these letters and I've responded. I got another one and I'm going to respond when I have time, because I'm a busy man, I'm running this country. So we don't know if he has answered as yet, but his people in their, I don't know what to call this. I don't know what this is, but all that they have done is shone a spotlight on the prime minister, and somebody online say, then take with a fool.
But that's
all they've done,
They take people for fool. They have taken Jamaican people for fool.
I mean,
they think so. They
think that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, if they did not intend to cast this shadow over the prime minister, that is what they've done. It better the report come out. We know who is doing who is what, and not take us through this painful exercise of now hearing Marlene Malahou Fort, Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs.
She should have known better.
The Solicitor General herself trying to say that something illegal was being done concerning the assessment of the Prime Minister's declaration because he was being entrapped into an investigation which was carrying the garments of a verification process. If you are a public servant and you get more than one verification request concerning your report, you should assume you're being investigated. The first thing is, from the right to you, I ask you something and you realize that you can't answer it without breaching your own constitutional rights, which may well be the right to be silent lest you implicate yourself in a crime. You're entitled. Most people, when they see that that's what's staring them in the face, they get a lawyer, they do a kind of polite resignation, take leave, when they're sick, not come back, whatever the case might be. you begin to position yourself to respond to criminal process because you know what's coming, and you zip it, and you say, let a man prove his case against me. My only misdeed is I did not file a declaration that satisfies you.
Okay.
But anything else that I'm going to say, I'm saying it under the privilege of
the court.
Absolutely.
But
you can do that. But he has not done so.
But you know what is also happening? Because the DPP has made a ruling in regards to the NWC president and his wife. A ruling has been made.
Really?
Yes, she made a ruling.
She's firing on all cylinders. Swift footwork.
So she sent one back to the
but we don't know what the ruling is as yet.
And she has sent it also to local government. To them. So that ruling has been made. So now, what is it that they are falling down?
But the truth is, we don't even... All of this posturing look like the defense, we're being primed for the defense.
It's unfortunate, though.
Yesterday or last week, early in the week, she was saying that when the Integrity Commission reports on its investigations, it should not specify the category of public servant by highlighting parliamentarians as if it's only parliamentarians that thief money. That's the kind of the subtext.
If you were in cricketing term, then they would say they should prepare the wicket.
She's prepared the wicket.
She's prepared the wicket.
Yeah.
That is coming.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
No. The Solicitor General spoke about a Privy Council case in Turks and Caicos. She said that the two processes ought not to be confused, as both are to be conducted under different powers and sections of the legislation. She should look at Justice Pusey's ruling against Carousel and see that in Jamaica here, the court has already said that where the agency has the power under different sections of the law to do a number of things, if they get the sections mixed up, it is no harm to the citizen.
Unless harm really happens.
Yeah, and when harm occurs, you go on the specifics. But like here where they're talking about it now without even giving us a clue, what is the actual... Yes, but don't worry. Some of us are wise to how these things work. There is no possibility here that the two processes have been confused in the Integrity Commission, because the Integrity Commission is already properly set up with different divisions to handle each process.
And I remember too, you know it's different? Remember when the thing came out in regards to the Prime Minister?
Yes.
And the investigation had said something in regards to his constituency.
Yes.
And then the other person said, no, we can't.
We will not.
So you know
they have the procedure in place. And the structure is already in place. So we will not be led into confusion or error by these statements in the media.
And that's a precedent, and we know it. And we know it. Because that is an excellent example. That you know that one person do them thing, make a recommendation, the other person, no, can't, it will not go, it can't fly.
That lady, Miss Aldred, must have had a difficult night. Because to try and give them what they want without compromising your own integrity, it takes some effort. This is what she said. There are times when the Integrity Commission will write back to declarants and indicate that they need more information. But depending on what they are asking for and how they are going about it, it may not fall under their powers of verifying a statutory declaration. It may really fall under their powers to conduct an investigation, Aldred told committee members. So at this stage now, they're saying, the words you use, you're the right man to ask the question, because I can guarantee that no one in investigation is writing to somebody who is under verification. Because it not come to them yet. They wouldn't even know that there's an issue.
Yeah.
So now the Solicitor General is being drawn into the confusion and being led to say stupidness like how they ask it, it may not fall under a verification power.
You see?
How they ask it.
And untangled is the web.
We weave when first we practice to deceive. I finish it for you.
Yeah.
From my perspective, she says, I've seen some examples. So now we're not talking about a specific case. She's now talking about examples where it's kind of questionable whether there is some overreach when they are doing the verification of a statutory declaration, which looks more like an investigation, she added.
But that still not get it.
She said, where an investigation is being conducted, the commission must operate in a different manner.
Yeah, but it's just...
So that means the one who is actually investigating cannot be subtle and indirect in his approach. He must always come like a prosecutor or a policeman.
I must?
Of course not.
Foolish.
This is nonsense they're doing, trying to lay out a foundation for someone to say, my rights were breached, I didn't know I was being investigated. If I had known, I would have done this or that. Do over.
Mr. Whoever them trying to protect. We were, you see, I keep telling people, you know, Jamaican people, there's a common sense and intelligence. Jamaican people are not fools.
It gets even worse, Percival.
Oh,
this is the lawyer still speaking.
Can we stop?
No. If the commission has summoned a declarant,
yes.
You as a JP, you know, if you're summoned somewhere, do you think you're going to verify something?
No.
You know an investigation. They're going to be taking evidence from you.
Yeah.
If the commission has summoned a declarant, she continued, that person must be told that it is for an investigation and not a matter of verification of a statutory declaration. All they're doing, and I thank them for it, you notice that every time they come out with the misinformation, the Integrity Commission does a clear statement on its procedure.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of wondering now, do they realize, because they all know the procedure, and they're lawyers of experience, and believe me, if the Integrity Commission set up its system and did not have consultation with a lawyer as to whether it had set it up in a proper way, then it's not even... Bear in mind, you know, it's Justice Seymour Panton, who was president of the Court of Appeal, who is the chairman. You can rest assured that Justice Panton is not overseeing...
He's not mocked.
He's not overseeing an establishment that is mixing up the functions and doing something which he knows the Court of Appeal has addressed in many other cases. I think the first case, one of the earliest cases they had to deal with it on, was for the FTC, the Fair Trading Commission, because the FTC had gone about pronouncing on a matter where the injured party was concerned that they were the same team that investigate and gather information, was the same team that produced the evidence as prosecutor before the commission, and that the commission apparently had been aware of the thing coming all through the paces. So by the time they sat as adjudicators, it was one hand doing all the work.
Yeah.
And the principles had to be enunciated that you cannot, when you are a regulator, have the same staff. Because a lot of these things were small staff and they were mixing up. So you had to separate your functions.
So they know that's why they have set up the Integrity Commission in that manner.
So now, you see where this is going because they have that supermajority in the House. Here comes Legal and Constitutional Affairs Minister Malahoo Fort. The clarification is the bane of contention in how the anti-corruption body operates. She too said that if on the examination of a statutory declaration, suspicion rises to the level where it requires an investigation, it is not simply a matter of requesting information from the declarant. The minister said it becomes a matter of advising the declarant of the nature of the suspicion and that the matter has become an investigation. I think that is where the problem lies. The approach taken, Malahoo Fort noted. Of course, Julian Robinson on the opposition side disagreed with them. Don't need to go into that. I've disagreed with them too, and I'm not touting Julian's arguments. I'm looking at it from law. Where I see this going, Jamaica, I see the government with their supermajority seeking to set some law, introduce some overnight law that will disable the actions taken by the Integrity Commission so that investigations conducted are nullified or some, I don't have the imagination to walk with them in this journey. But when I hear a minister who knows law or to know law says there is a gap in the law, just like how they rushed to change the law to allow the DPP to continue in office, they are working overnight right now to find a way to change the law using their supermajority in Parliament so that whatever lies ahead for the parliamentarians who have been caught in wrongdoing. Because it looked to me, all of this shows they are conceding. They know what has gone down. Do you follow me, Pastor Percival?
But if it has gone down, the law can't change it. The law can be.
Oh,
yes, the law can be rich. Oh, yes, me forget. It has
Tell that to them with their supermajority.
No, but I'm saying they have done, the work has been done, the report is there. The Prime Minister has not been gazetted for 2 years. So they are saying now, based on your argument, you know, if you would put a law in place.
I don't know what law they're thinking of.
Whatever they're trying to do. Whatever they're trying to do. They are saying it's going to be retroactive. They're going to find out how Jamaicans are retroactive.
You know that I'm very creative, but I can't walk that road with them as to how they're looking to approach it. But listen to Malahoo Fort. We just noticed that there are some matters where they look like there are going to be investigations, but you are not going to know. Malahoo Fort buttressed that point, mentioning that a casual reading of the Integrity Commission Act did not show a provision for the conversion of an examination of a statutory declaration into an investigation. Now, what nonsense is that? Where in life would you find a provision entitling or empowering an organization that already has the power to investigate? There's a provision to tell them when it stopped being verification and become investigation?
Nonsense.
How would you even phrase such a power?
You remember because we're up on the break, you know.
All right, let me read this last part. This is really, and why I say they're looking to change law. This really may be where the problem is. The gap in the law and the approach taken, because the natural justice elements will not be satisfied. It's almost as if it could have been the appearance of entrapment, said Malahoo Ford. Oh, so now she has given us a hint. They're coming with some change that says, if the circumstances amount to entrapment, the person has a complete defense and the investigation is nullified. I could say that now. This is where they're going. So now I told you entrapment was not in our law. It's about to become a reality. The processes and the approach taken must have integrity. And so if it is that the request for further information is being done under the guise of an investigation and the declarant is not informed of it, then something would be wrong with that process, she added. She said, a provision ought to be made in the law to capture this. I rest my case. Lord, you sit in your heaven. If the provision is made in the law, then perhaps I can go back and reverse what happened to us. Take our break?
Hello, I'm Moira Alderson with the BBC News. Lawyers for the South African government have been addressing the UN's top court in their case, alleging that Israel's military offensive in the Gaza Strip amounts to genocide. They told the International Court of Justice in The Hague that the 3 months of bombardment violated the Genocide Convention of 1948. Israel has dismissed the allegation as baseless. The South African ambassador to the Netherlands, Vusi Madonsela, explained the motivation behind the case.
At the outset, South Africa acknowledges that the genocidal acts and omissions by the State of Israel inevitably form part of a continuum of illegal acts perpetrated against Palestinian people since 1948. The application places Israel's genocidal acts and omissions within the broader context of Israel's 75-year apartheid.
There have been heated exchanges between rival supporters of Israel and the Palestinians outside the court in The Hague. Hundreds of people gathered hours before proceedings began. Footage online shows a huge crowd watching a live stream of the hearing. A BBC correspondent says police have been trying to keep the two sides apart. Many pro-Palestinian supporters have signs reading "Stop the Genocide." Dozens of South Africans have gathered outside the High Court in Cape Town in support of the case. Armed men are reported to have boarded an oil tanker in the Gulf of Oman. A British agency, UK Maritime Trade Operations, said it had received reports that about 5 masked intruders were on board the vessel, which had been sailing from Iraq to Turkey. Here's Mike Thompson.
It's still unclear where the men in black military-style uniforms are from, but suspicion has fallen on Iran. The St. Nicholas, previously called the Suez Rajan, had been involved in a year-long dispute that ultimately saw the US Justice Department seize 1 million barrels of Iranian crude oil it was carrying. The British Maritime Agency has been unable to make further contact with the vessel. The incident comes after weeks of attacks on shipping in the Red Sea, on the other side of the Arabian Peninsula, by Iran-backed Houthi rebels.
Papua New Guinea's Prime Minister has declared a 2-week state of emergency after unrest that left at least 16 people dead. Violence broke out in the capital Port Moresby on Wednesday when police, with soldiers and prison guards, staged a protest over the docking of their pay. James Marape said the lack of a police presence had led to riots and looting. Mr Marape said security personnel would be on high alert for any eventuality.
We have over 1,000 men from Defence Force ready on standby to come in and work under state of emergency laws within the next 14 days to step in wherever necessary to contain any situations that may arise going forward into the future.
You're listening to World News from the BBC. China has told Taiwanese people not to vote for the frontrunner in the island's presidential election on Saturday. Beijing said William Lai would lead Taiwan down an evil path towards confrontation and war. China considers Taiwan part of its own territory and has a long-standing campaign to persuade it to unify with the Chinese mainland. 3 countries on the Black Sea have agreed to work together to get rid of floating mines. Turkey, Romania and Bulgaria all signed up to form the Mine Countermeasures Task Group, as Paul Moss reports.
The Black Sea has become a crucial theatre of conflict, and that's prompted Ukraine and, most people think, Russia as well, to put mines in the water. Ukraine uses them to protect its harbour at Odessa. Russia seems to use mines to deter cargo ships from reaching Ukrainian ports. And the mines have become a threat to shipping, with several commercial vessels being damaged when they hit one. The new task group will see Turkey, Romania and Bulgaria jointly run a small fleet of mine-hunting ships, hoping they can make such incidents a thing of the past.
The Nigerian army says it's arrested 2 soldiers after a widely shared video allegedly showed them torturing a civilian. In the footage, which was recorded in Rivers State, a man in military uniform and another in civilian clothing repeatedly kick and whip a shirtless man as he pleads for mercy. On social media, many Nigerians expressed outrage. Several thousand people have taken part in a protest at the Somali capital, Mogadishu, to denounce a recent agreement between Ethiopia and the self-declared Republic of Somaliland. The Somali government had urged people to turn out in large numbers. Several ministers took part in the march. Although exact details of what was agreed are vague, the deal reportedly gives landlocked Ethiopia access to a coastal area in return for recognising Somaliland as an independent state. BBC News.
Vejam Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Vejam Printers, your best choice in printing.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
Goodness mercy, it's me again, Lord.
your restorer, your game changer. Join me every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. and Bess FM 100. It's Apostle Clive Campbell, a.k.a. the Khaki Suit Man, coming to you from 8 to 12 Arion Street, also Richmond District, Mandeville. Embrace the change.
Get inspired when you tune into Vent, brought to you by Via Express Couriers. This and every Wednesday at 5 p.m. on Best 100 FM. Hear from some of Jamaica's top entrepreneurs. Get updates on deals and upcoming events, tips for business, and pure vibes. Vent, a safe space for discussion. Make we chat, no man.
And love more, 'cause you open up the door.
Live, camera, volume. Live it up Fridays on Best 100 FM. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with I, Ibi Lion, each and every Friday. Giving you the better vibes, heard everywhere.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
Welcome back to the Morning Connection. We've gone into some deep waters here because Percival pulled me out with the scripture that came to him for this morning's meditation. Be not deceived. This is the Lord advising us as human beings. Don't become delusional on who He is and how He handles things. Don't deceive ourselves by pursuing a path which looks like we are doing His business, but we're really serving our own purposes. He says, be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man sows, he shall reap it. So you know in your heart what has set you on a certain path, and you are doing things. That's your sowing. You're taking various actions, making decisions, trying to make it look as if you're doing something righteous. The unrighteousness that you sow is the unrighteousness you shall reap. And I am looking at a certain harvest falling right in the lap of the lady who was once Attorney General and is now Minister of Legal Reform, Legal Matters and Constitutional Reform.
Yeah.
That is going to be a short-lived ministry anyway, so I don't have to worry that I can't remember the name. That's why I can't remember the name. Everything about our movement is prophetic. That lady stood in court, and I heard her make some arguments concerning how regulatory agencies administer their business and how citizens need to be respectful and compliant when they are in the hands of the regulator. And I lived to read this morning this same lady claiming that it could only be a gap in the law that may permit a regulator to ask questions that seem to be overreaching and shifting from gathering information into investigating a possible breach. I live to hear her calling it entrapment when you are kind of dancing between the raindrops in those various roles. There is no gap in the law.
Is it really no, let me just come again.
Back up.
What is coming to light to me is that one law works based on who it is.
Yes.
The law works based on who it is.
It's applied based on
who the question. So it's not across the board. And then even with what we reported in terms of the shooting.
Absolutely, and the police response
in terms of what happened at Jamaica House
versus
what
100
happened
Lane.
in 100 Lane, and the ladies reporting in terms of them. What Indicom said them not them teeth, but then the police were at planes to point out 302 this happened. 411 these people come. So what happened to those people? They are not people.
No. That's why you made the point.
They're not people.
How you apply the law and interpret it is very dependent on who you're looking at. And so when you're looking at a 14-year-old boy in 100 Lane, it's a different thing. Police can bust gate, fire, grab up the body, move it around, and Indicom.
Don't even reach.
Did they even call Indicom? Who gonna call Indicom?
Yeah, because, and you see people here, more and more, God not tell lie upon himself. God is a God of justice, a God of righteousness, and let justice
Someone has written
flow.
here that God is faithful and he won't allow you to be tempted beyond what you are able to bear.
Even in this or it, but make a way of escape so that you'll be able to bear it or beat it.
Bear it. No, I think he's saying that Jamaica will have its way of escape. God will not allow us to be subjected to the manipulations and abuse of the political class or the princes of the land. It is the declaration we made only yesterday. We were repeating those declarations, speaking them over the nation. That is not our portion. It will change. But while we were on the break, I gave a further meditation to what I see emerging here. And I can just surmise what has happened. So the parliamentarians know who they are. Some of them are claiming now that, when they wrote and asked me this, they were investigating me. It's not. So now they have consulted with their legal luminaries, and a defense is floating, or an argument is coming to the top that if you answered without knowledge that you were under investigation and you were not able to take advantage of either your defenses under the Constitution, your whatever you could have availed yourself of to be more protective of your own situation, you have been wronged.
You have been entrapped?
now I think first they consulted their lawyers as to whether or not they could go to court at this stage. And they were probably told no, because the only reason you know is because you got to see the Integrity Commission's report. And it hasn't been published for the opposition to see it yet, because it has not been presented in Parliament. But it seems to me that somebody know what it says.
They must know what it says.
It seems to me, I'm surmising. And I believe advice has been given that no, Mr. Hales did get to silence his report for a number of years that take you beyond general election and give you enough time to make whatever arrangements you think best. But you can't go to court and get an injunction to silence the publication of the report. So they went to their next place of strength. I have a supermajority in Parliament. I can make law to address anything. Did I not just extend the life of the DPP? Have I not dealt with the traffic situation as I wanted to? Have I not introduced SOEs as a recurring decimal in the life of the people? Do I not have the power with my 78% strength in the Parliament? So now they have identified a gap in the law. What would any law-abiding, hard-working parliamentarian do when they are told that there is a gap in the law?
There is a gap in the law.
What would you do? Wouldn't you try to fill it?
No, why would I try to fill it? I'm a man of integrity. Come on.
But we're not talking about men of integrity. That's the whole point.
They have no integrity.
Percival, as I sit here, unless by my speaking it into the atmosphere, somebody says, nobody do it because Minett don't talk, say a foolishness.
Men righteous, men and women arise, men of conscience, men who see what is happening.
But you don't have to guess really, so no one can even come and say, well, Minett said a thing that is libelous. Minister Malawu Ford, the article ends with her saying, she said a provision ought to be made in the law to capture this. This is a clear statement that we are going to fix it with a provision in the law. And the only thing that provision in law is seeking to do is to nullify the work of the Integrity Commission while they claim this gap caused confusion and abuse of people's rights.
There's not no confusion.
No, they claim it because, even the devil have to make Wayma look rational. They're not at the point yet where they just up and do whatever they feel like. Because if this were probably year one after the elections, general elections, I think they would just do it.
No, they can't do it.
But they are too close to local government polls and to general elections to do it, and with the people signaling by the various poll results that they now know what corruption is, they now understand the cost and the damage to the nation. I don't think they want a chance just going in barefaced with one of those overnight amendment to law. And I suspect too they realize that the chairman that they have, they would need to retire him before they could pull that stunt.
Oh, the chairman, the Justice Panton?
Justice Panton.
Okay.
I don't think they could hope to pull that one over somebody who is that learned and experienced in the law. So they have a few things that they would need to smooth out before they could just move in a brazen way. But rest assured, some provision, some law is coming that is going to make you stand up and take notice. That is what is intended by this. I'm finished with that.
You finished? I just say...
I'm handing it to you
Jamaicans. Yeah. There's a light that is coming towards us, and it's not a Pinawali. It's not a truck. It's an onrushing train.
It's a bulldozer type train. Yeah, and the producer who don't have a mic has sent me a quotation. What is it? It is important that persons understand how this impacts their life. You may not be a public servant who would benefit or be hurt by what the Integrity Commission does. But we already see that by virtue of the rampant corruption in high places, the whole nation is in disarray. What we say out of Proverbs, when degenerates are in charge of your government, what happened to the nation?
Crime and violence.
Crime and violence. And we're seeing the crime and violence. Just by virtue of the crime and violence, you don't have to ask who is in charge of this nation. So if they are permitted to use the tools of government to carry out these kinds of activities, we are going to just fall deeper and deeper into trouble. So Jamaicans, wake up. Wake up. I know we were talking to African. It was African who said the other morning that he's not voting for JLP or PNP. And right away, I guess some people would have given a cheer because it means an even smaller number of persons. If more people take that view, then they just need their handful of delegates to bring them back into power, or whomever wants to be elected. We got to get rid of that delegate system.
Delegate system?
Or lead, yes, where a handful of people tied to the political parties determine who leads the country. We need to vote for our leaders. Vote for our MPs. Too many times you see that delegate system causing constituencies to reject the person who is put up to represent them. Citizens want to have a particular person represent them, and the party architecture spits out a different candidate.
And that is why.
And so you have poor representation of people at the local government level and or even as MPs. That has to be done away with as a part of the landscape. This is the constitutional reform that Ms. Malahoo Ford should be focusing on, rather than talking this nonsense about a gap in the Integrity Commission Act. This is the work she ought to be doing, because people are not having the level of choice in how representatives are elected. And we should move away from that. The Representation of the People's Act needs to be overhauled completely.
So that the push for constitutional reform.
So the shape of our government can be determined by the people in a way that allows us to really hold people accountable.
If a ruler listens to falsehood, all his officials will become wicked. That's Proverbs 29.
That is in the message?
Yeah, this is in the. And let me go back to the message. The message is always interesting in terms of what it says.
Wow, this one, even when I read it this morning, at first I was saying, all this sounds very familiar, because I remembered what we were arguing before the court when the OUR and the SMA, in identical procedures, took a certain move against our company. And we quickly went to court, only to be told, if the act said them have the power to do it, the form by which they do it is immaterial. They are carrying out their functions under the act. Anyway, but now, as I go to the end of it, I realize that what they're really doing is beginning to lay the foundations of a case for them to use their majority in Parliament and make a change to the law that would force the Integrity Commission to abandon its course against the current set of individuals. And I dare say there is a plan to fire some people, change up some people. And we saw already the University Hospital Board was dissolved because they were not playing ball with the minister. So, and you see, it's also the reason why when we were in Parliament and we said the Integrity Commission needs to be independent, sufficiently independent, so that Parliament
can't go in and do what they
can't go in and fire and change procedure and do what they are proposing to do right now. And all of them, Julian Robinson included, said, but it is independent. It is independent.
It's not independent.
Look what is happening now. In order to change the commissioners or change the law, the process should be such that you, the victim of their work, would have no say in it. Just saying.
Because you would do it. But, there is a general feeling, and the basis is, the assumption is that you have fair-minded people of integrity who would adjudicate on your behalf. But what has emerged is that you have people who just think about themselves. They're not thinking about the long term. They're not being wise. And we see what is being manifested. as we look at a lot of things that are happening, even the thing with corruption. Them just, they're not business, you know. They're really not business.
Their business is in a whole different direction, or rather, their business is corruption. Look at the lengths they're going to, talking about changing the law so that the commission's work in investigating illicit enrichment can be gutted on the basis that you ask a man a question, he didn't know he was being investigated.
But you remember what I always, one of my adages I always say, you thought if you speak the truth, you don't have to remember what you say. Yeah. I always say that. But but why if you report what is factual and you know that you are above board, you don't have to worry. You have to worry. You have to worry.
Yeah, you know, because you've spoken the truth. And that's why they can ask you for verification, because they assume you have spoken the truth and therefore it should be no challenge for you to verify what you've said. There's a judge who's getting a fair amount of press. Justice Bertram Morrison. I know Justice Morrison. I think he's one of the judges who entered the field of law coming out of the RM court system. He was a clerk. Before clerks had to be lawyers, and he studied law coming out of and he has gone through the ranks to now he is a senior judge. Yesterday or earlier this week, he was quoted as saying something that I wondered where his heart was on it, because the judge made two statements in the open court. I think he was addressing some official occasion. He said, one, that prosecutors, I think it was the opening of the circuit in the parish where he is sitting. He said, one, prosecutors who have cases that they really cannot succeed on a prosecution should drop the cases. They should take the right decisions and drop the case. It's a waste of the court's time and the people's money. He said defense lawyers who have dead-end cases he made a similar call on defense lawyers.
Instead of backing up the court?
Yes, those were the arguments.
Plugging up the court.
Right.
Yeah.
He made no statement about judges. You know that the judge is the most powerful person in that arena. And judges have the power and the authority to hold prosecutor and defense lawyers to the strict observance of the legal principles that either protect the overall system of the adjudication of the matter, or as officers of the court, the prosecutor and defense lawyers are bound by some principles of law on which the judge must rule.
Oh, so you're saying it is them, not us doing it, because you're saying he's stepping aside.
He's standing at the back as if he's not the judge with the power. In the case that Lowell and I suffered in for 3 years plus.
Until the lady.
It was the judge who forced, eventually, the last judge we came to, it was before her court for about 2 months.
And she
2 months?
And she said, well, not waste my time.
She was the one who forced them. She said, show me your allegations. Amend the indictment to the place where you want it to be. Now look at it. Can you support this case? Where is your evidence? What have you disclosed? It was the judge.
You're saying that Morrison
is
must take
shifting the blame and the responsibility to a defense lawyer whose only focus should be on ensuring that the citizen is treated properly in the system. A defense lawyer is an officer of the court. So he cannot be doing anything outside the rules of the court. But he is not the minister of justice. The prosecutor is the minister of justice, bringing forward the evidence to show that an offense has been committed. The defense is entitled to be silent.
Okay.
So I don't think it is proper for a judge to be asking defense lawyers to throw in the towel on their clients because you know the case weak. Okay. The case may be weak, but it is the prosecutor who has the responsibility of proving guilt.
So he's saying, all right, guys, do your work and allow me to do my work.
Yes. His comments were quite appropriate to the prosecutor because a man is innocent until proven guilty. So even when he comes before the court, he's still innocent. You need to make out a case against him. So his instructions, his comments to the prosecutor, I thought, quite appropriate because do not bring a citizen who is innocent before the court unless you have strong evidence to show that he is guilty of something. And the judge sitting there in the middle, at the pinnacle of this theater, is the one who should make sure that they are observing and doing the right thing. I thought to myself, why would a judge be shifting all of the responsibility to these two?
What is your thoughts on that? I think it's
laziness.
It's 8:32.
Laziness is why judges are not more active in ensuring that justice is done to both sides. To both sides. So he must do what he needs to do because in our case, you know, we had asked each judge who the matter came before, we asked them to do the same thing. And it's only the last judge who did it.
Okay.
When we come back, I'm going to tell you the second thing that the judge is in the paper for doing today.
Best FM 100.1, 100.3, 100.5, 7 and 9. Yeah.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-Time Taxi Service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
We are something special on the road.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
Hey, my listening crew. This is your late afternoon companion to Shikalu on your 100 FM dial. Make sure you tune in and turn up every Tuesdays from 5 until 7 p.m. for OTAWTL. That is on the ear with me, yours truly. A program that will leave you inspired, entertained, and informed. With credit giveaways each week. Street Link, where we go in the streets to find out from the people what is hot and what is not, and so much more. And guess what? You can now voice your birthday shout-outs on our WhatsApp line at 876-438-9442, and we'll play them live on air. So what are you waiting for? Turn up Tuesdays from 5 to 7 p.m. right here on Best 100 FM, the station that is sizzling every day.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. I invite you to join us for the Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ radio program with Elder Kendrick Murray, where we stand firm that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. This broadcast is heard every Saturday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. and again on Sundays from 4 to 5 p.m. The church is located at 3550 Pleasant Valley Road here in Mobile, Alabama in the United States. You may visit our website at sonofgodlives.org or our YouTube page at Minister K. Murray, or you may call us at air code 251-300-8812. God bless you, and we look forward to you tuning in to the program.
Here we are, standing in your presence.
Glory Connect! Glory Connect! Join us on Bess FM with Apostle Prophetess Denise Wellington and Pastor Alicia Gonzalez Morgan. Every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Bess FM Radio. Come out and discover your purpose. Take up that phone and dial now. Call and experience something new. Experience something great. Experience your own expression of encountering the supernatural glory of God's abundant life and transformation being fulfilled. What are you waiting for? Are you depressed, oppressed, worn out, tired, or stressed? Have you discovered your true purposes yet? This is the moment. What are you waiting for? Connect now to Glory Connection. Call and experience the Word of God, intercession, healing, and deliverance. Experience something great. Receive salvation and breakthrough. Connect. Tell a friend, family, and your neighbor. See you then.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess 100 FM.
Welcome back. What time is it? 8:38 a.m. Still delighted to be here. It's a beautiful morning at the club. We're discussing some weighty matters. I am amazed at the audacity of our parliamentarians, the ones who make up the supermajority. That's what I call it, because when you have 78% of the seats in the House, you can do anything. I thank God that this awareness didn't hit them until recently. What if they had recognized how far they could go from day one? The Lord knows where we would be. Because now they are very brazenly and daringly laying the foundation to make an amendment to the Integrity Commission Act. And the sole purpose of this amendment is to frustrate the work of the Commission in its investigation of public officials who they suspect have benefited from illicit enrichment. That's the whole purpose of it, and it seems to be born out of a very contorted argument that when the Commission was asking for verification of information, they were really investigating, and those persons who did not realize that an investigation was underway may have suffered some harm to their constitutional rights. It would not be the first time that a public or a government agency or a public official operate in what might be called a clandestine or a shady manner. It would not be the first time, but this would be the first time that the law is changed in order to sanitize the records and erase the work of the Commission. I can only imagine what someone is thinking. Online, Earl Brown has asked, does the average Jamaican care about what Marlene Malahou says? The average Jamaican, who is the average Jamaican in this question? She's not speaking to the average Jamaican, whoever such a person is. She's speaking right now to those whose fortunes are so tied up with the fortunes of the political class that they must now step out and support the kinds of initiatives which will keep the fruit tree producing. She never speaks to the average Jamaican. No minister speaks to the average Jamaican. Political candidates, when they are in the hustings, will do so. They will speak to anyone. But at this level, Earl Brown, she's not speaking to the average Jamaicans. She don't care if they understand. But I am trying to speak to the average Jamaican.
They have the vote.
So I am letting Jamaicans know what this means for us, what the implications are.
But interesting, as you say, that Jamaicans, I think, have woken up to the reality that corruption affects them across the board. Once upon a time, it was way down, but now it is. It's going.
Yeah. They now understand that the crime and violence they see is the full-blooded child, not a stepchild, is a full-blooded child of corruption in high places. You know, Scripture tells us that, doesn't it? We don't fight against the little things we man do. Spiritual wickedness and corruption in high places, high places, territorial devils, demons, spirits.
Bishop
Owen prayed yesterday.
Went after them. Big time.
So let us hope that people realize that we're not without help or resource to combat what's going on in the nation. And some of us are doing all we can. Kevin Galloway says it's a serious matter, Miss Minett and Pastor Percy.
Yeah, but it is in the editorial in the Gleaner this morning. Remember we were talking about how the police deals with crime?
Yes.
Like with the contrast between what happened 100 Man Lane and what happened at Jamaica.
Yeah, to the son of the big businessman.
Right.
Or the two sons of the massive businessmen.
Yes, because them some serious money them have under their care. And this guy was saying they welcome, the editor welcome the fact that the Prime Minister says that they're going after crime and gangs. But in the editorial was saying that it looks like it is lopsided.
They can only do one gang at a time.
Not only one gang, but what happens to the youths.
Yeah.
The man in the street is different from what happens.
Yes,
to the big
as
fish,
they.
and them said it. But if you go after the big fish even more, then you begin to pull out and destroy.
Yes,
those people are supporting what we see happening.
The trickle down.
Yeah, the trickle
because it does. You know, where we complain, not complain, but an observation was made that the 10 periods of growth in the Jamaican economy is not felt throughout the entire economy because the trickle-down effect is not working. But you know in which enterprise trickle-down work? Trickle-down works seamlessly in criminal enterprise. If the big man gets something, it goes down. It trickles down to the child in the yard who can get a school book and a school fee paid. That's the lifeblood.
In the sidewalk.
Or right down to the child who get to a little roast to paint the sidewalk so his parent can go do another job. That was an amazing explanation from the mayor. The mayor said, we have no children employed in this initiative. It is their parents. Yeah. He thought it was enough to point out that we didn't employ the children, they might help out them parents. As if that it just completely missed the point that people were making when they said, no, children painting. If the children were painting the sidewalk white or yellow or whatever color is allowed for traffic guidance and parking purposes, I don't think anyone would have complained because aside from making sure that is not child labor, you could say they're helping their parents. And that's a good thing, parent and child working together. But to be doing something that is clearly political, your answer is, we didn't employ them. The fact that you didn't employ them gives you even greater authority to go and clean it up. But that's a digression.
It's all over, Yeah. It's all over. And you drive to all over. I was amazed.
They don't start cleaning it up
They're not going to clean it up. It's all over. That is the amount of money they spend. This is what
Just the paint and the labor alone to clear it.
Yeah, because but this is what the money. Remember the
MP should pay for that personally.
No, but they were allocated. This is the Christmas work thing.
Yes,
allocation.
but I'm saying when the MP allowed that to be in his constituency, he should be fined the cost of fixing it. Just like how when the big factory let effluent out in the river, they are fined the cost of fixing it. So should it be for the MP, and it don't matter if the MP is the Prime Minister. All the more. In fact, he shouldn't even wait for anyone to tell him to fix it. He should volunteer and make a statement. This is not acceptable in any constituency. And it is in mine, the cost to fix it. I lead by example.
And this is the point.
Yeah.
Today is Thursday, the point we're making Monday, Tuesday. You lead by example. You set the tone. And now, the tone that you are setting is that...
He has set the tone.
We're going to fix it by changing the law.
Yes, that's the
tone.
So, yeah, I wanted to go back to just complete what I was saying about Bertram Morrison, because we are making the appeal for all Jamaicans, whether you're in position of low authority or high authority, to do your part. Do your part. Don't just keep pointing a finger. And this judge who spoke about what defense counsel should do and what prosecutor should do forgot or chose not to say that judges need to be resolute in holding lawyers who appear before them accountable, because judges know the law as well.
They should know.
They're presumed to know the law.
Oh.
So they know that the elements of a crime need to be evident on the witness statements and the exhibits that are being put before the court. So they should be ensuring that people are satisfied. Tick the box. You have your witnesses, you have your statements. Any preliminary applications, let's get them done. Set a timetable. Did you see that in the American case with President Trump, this appeal court signaled by their questions and the way they received certain arguments that they were not with Mr. Trump on the point being advanced that as president he had immunity against prosecution?
I never saw it.
It was reported in the media that the court signaled its position on it. They regarded it as a novel argument. In fact, they posed a question to the lawyers during the argument. They asked whether a sitting president could authorize government troops to assassinate a candidate who was being put against, who was coming up against him.
Oh, that's what
because if you have immunity, then immunity covers anything you do, any abuse of your
never
power.
happened to Richard Nixon. He had to resign.
Well, he chose to because he saw the impeachment coming.
42
and then,
people were arrested.
Yeah. So the judges have the power to signal where they're going on an argument and ensure through how they manage the court proceeding that people do the right thing in a timely way. I pray that Mr. Morrison, I know him somewhat.
You found it?
Yeah, I was looking for the second one. In the second one, he is threatening to sanction a manhunt for a witness.
Well, they can't find the man.
So, in the second one, no, the witness didn't.
They can't find him.
A warrant was issued. Yeah, witness don't show up repeatedly in a matter. Of course, they're trying to get matters through the court. So it's kind of interesting that in the second one, he understands that as judge, he can use his power. And he was using his power to say a critical witness who don't show up repeatedly should be, yes. And then having used the powers of the court in that way, if it turns out he's dead or whatever the situation might be with him, there are other provisions in law that can be used to make the case move along. So I applaud him for his boldness in that area, but on the earlier comments earned him a discredit. I would say perhaps he redeemed himself. The internet is not allowing me to open up today's paper, so I'm just going to move on.
But listen to this, though. I was saying, this was the editorial,
yes,
and I'm quoting, but even as we embrace this anti-gang mission, which is what the Prime Minister said, the Gleaner also looked forward to similar zeal in going after and prosecuting white-collar racketeers. Many Jamaicans, white-collar racketeers, that include Who many Jamaicans
illicit enrichment
believe get right? Who many Jamaicans believe get insufficient attention. One consequence of this is the deeply held view of poor Jamaicans of class divide in how law and justice are administered in the island, with one set of rules for them and another more benign standard for the rich and well-to-do and often better educated uptowners.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder why we?
Yeah, we are in the same vein.
Boy, me I
Yes,
said,
I found it.
oh, them coming like, I never read it before I got here.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
I hadn't.
The
I
call
hadn't
for
read it either.
justice goes out in this nation in a significant way. And if you're not hearing it, we're gonna have serious problems. Remember I was telling you about the donkey and the cheetah and the donkey, the cheetah and the lion.
And the lion. You wanna?
So the story is told.
To use it again today.
It's oh boy. The story is told of a donkey saying the grass is blue. And he was in discussion with the cheetah. The cheetah said, no, the grass is green.
Mm-hmm.
So they were arguing and they said, let us go to the king so the king can properly educate. So they're on the way and the donkey, just as he's getting into the king's presence, says, the grass is blue, shouting out. And they come in front of the lion. The lion agrees with him and says, yes, the grass is blue.
The donkey goes away happy.
The donkey goes away very, very happy.
He has won his case.
He won his case. So the cheetah said to the lion, but the grass is green. How you make that happen? He said, but you are. If you have an argument with a fool, what you want to do? You are no punishment because you engage this donkey in this fool argument. So you go keep yourself quiet. The moral of the story is you don't argue with a fool. Leave them alone. Because if you keep arguing with them, you're going to become foolish like them.
It's foolish to argue
with a donkey.
Shame on you for letting the donkey draw you into a debate.
In a fool debate.
Yeah.
But this is not a fool debate, that is happening in Parliament. This has serious implications for the Integrity Commission and the war on corruption that is a big one in our country.
Mm-hmm.
They found the thing.
I found the story, right. So Justice Bertram Morrison is on circuit in the St. James. And you know St. James is the hot seat of many things, not very few of them good these days. And there's a witness who was missing from court. A warrant was issued for the witness to be brought to court this morning so he can be directly questioned by the judge in the trial of a man who is accused of the 2017 murder of the schoolgirl Shaneka Gray. Justice Morrison issued the warrant yesterday afternoon after the court was told that efforts by the police to locate the witness, who was previously on the prosecution's indictment to give evidence against Roberts, were unsuccessful. What I am prepared to do is to have the police go on the manhunt and find the witness to take her to court. What it will mean is that I am not prepared to go beyond tomorrow morning. If they are unable to locate her between now and tomorrow morning, the case will have to go on, and I want to be as fair as possible, the no-nonsense Morris declared yesterday. The judge was exercising his discretion to directly call upon the witness to give evidence following the prosecution's closing of its case yesterday and before the defense lawyers begin their client's case. Now, clearly, this is a situation in which the witness had come to court, was released, and an application to recall the witness had been made successfully. The witness now gone about her business. They can't find her, and the judge has sanctioned, has issued a warrant for the person to be brought to court, giving them the best opportunity to put in the evidence that they want. It's the prosecution's witness. The person is not to be brought back to court for the defense to cross-examine. Defense has done its work. It is so that the judge himself can ask questions based on, I guess, issues that remained unclear after the prosecutor closed his case. Yes, Justice Morrison is very versed in the criminal courts. That's where he cut his teeth before he even studied law. So he's using his powers there to do something to ensure that the prosecution can complete the case fully, I would say, because they had already rested, but he had questions. Now that I read the story and see which witness is not to facilitate anything for the defense, is the prosecution's case he's addressing, because it's not defense who asked for the witness to be brought back. The prosecution apparently had elected not to use that witness, reading more on it, but the judge wants to bring the witness, yes.
So she was there already and go?
Originally one of 18 witnesses.
They said they don't want her.
But yeah.
That's not going to buttress their case.
Mm-hmm.
A just king gives stability to his nation, but one who demands bribes destroys it. A just king gives stability to his nation, but one who demands bribes destroys it. You don't believe it's a corruption, don't impact your daily living, you miss the boat.
Well, if you follow the polls, you know, that sampling of Jamaicans who spoke to the pollster say that they understand that it is corruption that is the driver behind the things we see happening now.
Yeah, so
we know.
Connecting the dots.
We are connecting the dots. Earl Brown has asked a question. I don't recall how one would even answer this. He says, when Michael Manley did not contest one of the general elections and the JLP had all seats in Parliament, how was the country governed? Was it good or bad?
Mixed.
But did they use their parliamentary majority in a similar way?
No, they didn't. Because
that's the difference.
To Mr. Siaga's credit, what he did then was to appoint independent members to the Senate. So even if they did do something, it couldn't fly.
They couldn't make law.
Yeah. They couldn't, because remember, in our system, you tell me if I'm incorrect. If you're going to pass a law, the Senate has to...
Yes, we have the two chambers of the House. I see. So he completed the 21 by just inviting... Yeah. The truth is...
Independent person.
What is happening, the way this government functions in Parliament, how they exercise their lawmaking powers, is unprecedented. And I credit Miss Malahoo for it. For that.
You credit her?
She will go down in history as one who has facilitated every outrageous abuse of parliamentary powers that has crossed the mind of this Prime Minister. Everything that he has desired to do, she has facilitated it. And it starts in this way. They begin to bring out some people who start to say, well, there's something you could do here, until she makes the pronouncement. There is a gap, and we shall fill it. We'll close that gap with law. The stunt with the DPP, I don't believe anyone would have approached it. Because Earl is right. It's not the first time that Jamaica has been in this state where the numbers are so...
It's gotten better then.
You know,
it means that Mr. Holness, remember Siaga was
his mentor.
Yeah. Better.
He's like Elijah and Elisha.
Yeah, got better in terms of what?
In terms of abuse.
You can't call that getting better. It has gotten worse.
Don't use your mic privilege.
It has gotten worse. No, but you know what it is, and I decided to bow in on the discussion because we should never miss it. People can never think that it is sufficient for us to sit down and say we're not going to take part in the process. And then when things are not going the way you want it to, you complain. What are you complaining about when you had the opportunity to make a change? If it's only two things you have, just use the best possible thing you can with what you have.
But
it's not acceptable
to stay away.
So there's a call, no time to act. You need to make a decision.
You gotta do something.
You have to do something.
It'll only get worse for us. It only gets worse.
So there's a current call that is going on.
Giving us additional.
The current call has gone out for us.
We're gonna take the break. We're gonna take the break.
He put on back his producer hat and
Walk
taking
on.
the break.
Guten
We'll be
Tag.
right back.
I think I love you, Bess FM, because you're better than the rest of them. It's so amazing how I love you, Bess FM, because you're better than the rest of them.
That doesn't sound healthy at all. Get healthy, my friends. Stay balanced. Tune into this station, Bess FM 100, every Saturday morning, 8 o'clock to 9, for this wonderful program, Your Health Today, with me, Dr. Clarion Palmer. Yes, get healthy, get healthy, get healthy. Stay balanced. Bess FM 100, Saturday morning, 8 o'clock, with me, Dr. P. Get healthy.
Get inspired when you tune into Vent, brought to you by Via Express Couriers. This and every Wednesday at 5 p.m. on Best 100 FM. Hear from some of Jamaica's top entrepreneurs. Get updates on deals and upcoming events, tips for business, and pure vibes. Vent, a safe space for discussion. Make we chat, no man.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. I invite you to join us for the Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ radio program with Elder Kendrick Murray, where we stand firm that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. This broadcast is heard every Saturday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. and again on Sundays from 4 to 5 p.m. The church is located at 3550 Pleasant Valley Road here in Mobile, Alabama, in the United States. You may visit our website at sonofgodlives.org or our YouTube page at Minister K. Murray. Or you may call us at area code 251-300-8812. God bless you, and we look forward to you tuning in to the program.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, at 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try and call, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
Ah, what a relief.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I ever met. You're simply the best.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep
For
listening.
a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
Welcome back. 6 minutes past 9 o'clock. And may I just emphasize how warm and beautiful the weather is right here where we are. And yes, Earl Brown, that's just for you who announced that it is snowing in your neck of the woods with that 2 degrees Celsius going down to -2. Unimaginable. If I could, I would send you a bottle of sunshine. As it is, maybe I'll send you a picture. That might do it. You know you're welcome to be in Jamaica at this time of the year or any time at all. It would be a pleasure to meet some of the names that have become so familiar to us. Yours is one of them. Of course, for this morning's conversation, a lot of time we have spent looking at different faces of Jamaica and getting into the nitty-gritty of how our treatment of crime and violence is connected to our response to the rampant corruption in some high places. We went into scripture, you know, one of our favorite is the proverb that says, when degenerate run the country, crime and violence abound. Speaking to the fact that the whole nation take its lead from what is happening in high places. We're seeing that despite it not being the first time that the government of Jamaica has been comprised mainly or entirely of just one political party having dominance in Parliament. It's not the first time. Thank you, Earl, for reminding us of
1983.
that. Yes. Prime Minister Edward Seaga of blessed memory never went to the lengths that his protege, his son.
Yes.
But I think his son's success in that move is due entirely to those who have enabled him to a point of absurdity.
You think it's absurd?
It is the extent to which Minister Malahoo Fort went as when she was Attorney General. Nothing, however outrageous, the Prime Minister came up with. She tried to find a legal basis on which to pursue it.
Wow.
Now we see them doing this elaborate dance to bring about some statutory improvisation meant purely to frustrate the work of the Integrity Commission. Jamaicans take note, because we always say, who will bell the cat? Well, now the one who should bell the cat is what? How does one even describe what is happening?
Yeah, but you remember that story, who will bell the cat?
Yeah, the cat has taken over the whole party now. No one is safe.
And the cat said, we'll buy a bell. That's it. Buy a bell. So when the cat is coming, we will know.
We'll know because it will...
Someone, little boy says, look right. So who is going to put
this bell on the cat?
And I say that a cat runs past.
Because he probably think we're going belly. And it's interesting that the party's symbol is a bell. Yes, the JLP symbol is a bell. Who's going to put the bell around this runaway megalomaniac that is the shape of our current government? They have the authority and the numbers to do whatever they want, and they have just come into full recognition of that fact. Yeah. Because now, to actually signal a move to frustrate the work of the Integrity Commission by introducing a change to the law, the boldness of it is actually admirable. This
But
is what we've been... That is what we've been calling.
You need to clear the
shameless audacity. We've been speaking over the nation, and the wrong people are answering. What is going on in this nation?
But you know...
Well, it's all Jamaicans, and they have answered the call.
Yeah.
The rest need to answer the call.
Yeah.
Because if that is not audacious, I don't know how one could define audacious except to lift up that example of people who are prepared to write law to erase
or to cover
their misdeed.
Yes.
And so bold-faced. Concerns that legislative gaps may have resulted in parliamentarians and public officials being investigated for possible illicit enrichment. Oh, that day. There is this now is, I'm asking you, would you dine in a restaurant that is held aloft by a crane and you are dangling 45 feet or so above maybe the water? I wouldn't approve the one with the water. And I don't know what they have below it.
No, I would prefer
yes.
if I were able to consider that.
You'd prefer the water?
Prefer.
You can swim?
No. I've on a life jacket, so if you drop drop in the water. Instead of dropping on the ground, boof, because if you drop on the ground, it's boof.
There's no, it's pure resistance when you drop on the ground.
No, sir.
Or no resistance, inert energy, nothing to push. Yeah.
But boy, I'm going to tell you, what will man do?
Anyway, such an attraction is
now in Jamaica?
It will open in August of this year in Jamaica. Enterprising women of Jamaican roots are bringing it here at the awesome cost of $240 million. Jamaica-born businesswoman spearheads $240 million dinner in the sky restaurant in the grill. But it don't seem to be just dinner. It's not just dinner.
$240 million. It could have been a small hotel for that, you think?
No, sir. Well, you could build something, but I know 240 sound like a lot, but $1 million US in Jamaica is what? If you get it at the, if you buy it at the highest.
10,000.
What did you say?
10,000 US.
10,000 what?
US or 9,000.
No, not $1 million Jamaican. I should say 100 million. No, I said $1 million US. $1 million US in Jamaican dollars. 150 million at top dollar. So this is less than $2 million. With $2 million, you couldn't build a hotel.
That's true.
I mean, you could build something. I have no doubt that you can build something, but it wouldn't be a hotel. And it mean to have the crane and the whatever it is. Let me describe it for those who may be mildly curious. So it is a woman, bless her heart, coming to West End Grill with this proposal, which is set for completion in August this year, because in fact it's not it's a crane. you get something for it's a crane, and they show a picture of it here, artist impression of the dinner in the sky experience. You're under some kind of umbrella type thing and you're dangling out of nothing, and it looks like your feet are just resting on the bars below the chair. Those who have done any of those immersive virtual reality tour of a city, hang gliding or whatever, would know the feeling. And I know that feeling, so I would never associate that with dining. The innovative sky dining experience would be the first of its kind in Jamaica, and it would elevate diners 45 meters high by a crane, offering breathtaking views of Negril and the Caribbean Sea during a 4-course meal. Each of the 6 daily sessions will host 22 people, providing a thrilling and immersive experience, according to Kislor, the company's CEO. She's a St. Andrew native who migrated to the United States at the age of 12, and she currently operates 23 stores in the U.S. I don't think stores here refer to that kind of store. I wouldn't call it a store. But she's obviously a businesswoman of Jamaican origin. Now,
How you pronounce her name?
Kisloir. Ksloir. So Kisloir. Yeah. I don't know who would insure it. I don't think, I don't think it would be a hit in Jamaica. I do not think it would be a hit in Jamaica. I mean, I think people will be looking at it like, I think this is white people thing. They're going to say, let the guests come and do it.
Yeah.
Visitors right this way. I wouldn't do it. For sure, I wouldn't do it.
She said 6 times 100 and 132.
Oh, you mean?
Yeah, she says each of the 6 daily sessions will host
22 people, and they pay an average. They pay between $220 and $310 per person for the meals. The way it looks as if the meals go up with the table in warmers, and I guess you would just take out your courses. Like how you're on the plane and they give you a thing.
Ordered before.
So you order before, obviously. I don't think the chef is zooming in to drop the soup, or you're served by bird. Listen to me, I want no part of it.
No, but look at that. No, that's 220 US.
Oh yeah, 220 to 310. So average that.
That's 50
per person. 22 times that.
Yeah.
6 times that, because they do 6 dinners.
So she make back
not
her
dinner.
money quick,
They do 6 meals for the day, is what they say. They will take people as young as 12, not my child, and adults up to 300 pounds because they have to maintain. What?
That's 300 pounds.
Yeah, you can't. I guess they have to meet the tolerance of the crane.
Because they are puppies.
Yeah, me, Jamaica have a little earthquake while I'm up there dining. And the plane wobble, the crane wobble, and down we go. And maybe it's night, and we're hanging over. Not me. Anyway,
you have a very vivid imagination. You just have a very vivid imagination.
Yeah. Didn't you feel that one?
No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir. She must consider that already. And know that Jamaicans, oh, please, enough visitors will come and do it. As people, this is the quotation, as people, we want to always try new things. That's why we climb mountains. So I believe dining in the sky is a good new adventure for people to experience, and I hope they embrace it. This is a quotation from the businesswoman who was putting it up. So obviously she made her presentation to the Negril Chamber of Commerce, and she, right. What I found funny, even in this article, is that the same thing she says is what is repeated by someone from the Negril cohort. And I just imagine that they're in complete shock, and you just give them something and they read it. So they use the same words. So she says that. Oh, they're doing something near Negril Lighthouse. You know where that is?
Yeah, where the lighthouse is in Negril.
Located near the... Yes. I guess you two won't be at the dinner either.
We won't not. You see it all the time. No, sir.
Oh, wow. Emphasizing safety, customer service, ambience, and gourmet meals. Crystal Kisloir, so it looked like his two sisters, right. Highlighted additional features like a live DJ and a virtual reality experience. Now, I could
all
take...
of that is up in the air?
Yeah, but listen to me now. Me wouldn't mind the virtual reality experience where I'm sitting on land, maybe I'm 2 feet above the ground.
Yes.
And the table is set, and I feel like I'm 45 meters, like the Disney ride where you get to tour like a valley, and you really are 2 feet above the ground, but you know, they use the 3D, and you feel like you're flying over. I mean, Daniel hated it. I didn't like it much. We had to keep telling him that, look, you could stretch and put your foot on the ground, because you really do feel as if you're in the air. Anyway, the attraction is located near the Negril Lighthouse, and it has received wholehearted support from the Negril Chamber of Commerce. They should be the first guests. I see them coming off puking. With President Elaine Bradley stating, this is what the president said: dining in the sky is a good new adventure for people to experience, and I hope they embrace it. The same words that the lady. The same thing.
I hope they embrace it.
I hope they embrace it. I read it and I said, oh, that woman is in shock. She's saying I've lived too long. What the hell?
What next? What next is going to happen? What will they think of next?
I know. Negril, known for its diverse accommodations and eateries, welcomes this unique venture as an exciting addition to its offerings, added Bradley, describing the West End as the jewel in the crown in Jamaica. We will be having a live DJ 45 meters high while customers are enjoying our meal. That DJ is probably going to be a hologram. I don't know.
What's that like? I'm just thinking about it, you know. I'm just saying a live DJ. He's going to be playing music while you're doing it. Or
I think it's a hologram. We have a virtual reality experience. If you're into the 3D gaming activity, and there's just a wonderful environment, an amazing adventurous experience. It's really a different way of dining. An adventurous way, shared Crystal Coslaw. Yes. The new Jamaican attraction is approximately half a mile from the popular Rick's Cafe, going further west, and its presence in a town renowned for gaining its fame from the hippies of the 1960s has been welcomed wholeheartedly. In fact, Bradley says, there is a market for this type of offering. 45 meters high. Like,
no, from here to there, it'd be 100. Here to. So it's about halfway.
Like half a mile up? What is that? No.
No, I'm saying from that fence to here, it's probably 100 meters.
Reduce it to miles and let's put it on a vertical pole and see.
It's really high, 45 meters is how much? 3 feet, That's a whole heap, you know.
Yep.
Because a meter is 3 feet approximately. And so, wow.
How many miles is that, Lowell? How much? No, I mean in fraction of a mile. Is it half a mile?
Yeah, in the
yes,
air.
147 feet. Yeah, but put it in miles. What fraction of a mile? Yeah. 0.027. I don't want to be 0.027.
A story. When you think, so like if you look at that building there, which is how much stories? One, how much about 6 stories?
Yeah.
So you go up 5.
A little bit more than that.
It's halfway.
Each story is about 20 feet.
Each story is about 8 feet or 20 feet lower in your building.
Depending. Up a building. We're looking. Is it as tall as Courtly? Are you as high up as Courtly?
No, not tall. No. That is about, let's say 100 and. Yeah.
Anyway, we're all trying to imagine what it means, even though none of us will try.
Yeah, so it's about 10 stories.
Their plan from day one. It's true, no lie.
About 9 stories high.
I've never seen a video of a crane falling to the ground. Your Earl question is, has anyone ever seen a video of a crane falling to the ground? Well, Earl, he has just sharpened my resolve not to be caught in one of those dining experiences.
About a 10-story building.
I wouldn't do that. No, I wouldn't. Even those, what did we do, Lowell? Remember we went to Vegas? We did the... Yeah, that big wheel in the sky in Vegas. Yeah.
Did you go on it?
Yeah, man. I'm trying to remember. What does it do? It turns? What does it do?
Don't go, it rotates.
But I'm not really remembering feeling the movement. Yeah.
No, it was nice.
Yeah. Well, suppose
it's like a 10-story bit, you're gonna be eating.
Yeah.
In a 10-story building.
What kind of a 4-course meal? No. Might have a cocktail and come back down.
But when you're eating a full course meal, about hour and a half, if you eat it and enjoy yourself.
Yes. And because it's an attraction, it would be. Sir. Yeah, you're not feeling warm to the idea? Nobody's spending their wedding anniversary dangling from a crane.
No, sir.
10 stories high, dangling from a crane.
You can't just imagine that. No, Baba.
No, for me, I mean, really, the safety precautions that surround it would be very important.
Yeah.
Like you have on a parachute.
And that's why I say put that.
There you all get tangled up.
Too short.
Okay, you have on a jetpack.
All right, that would
I
drop
don't
you
know.
down.
That-
Very interesting.
yeah,
But
that would land
Jackie
you
say online,
gently.
I'm afraid of heights, so she never think about that. She never think about that at all.
I feel like every Jamaican would say I'm afraid of heights for that one.
It's a suspended restaurant.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you have these restaurants that are at the top of a building and maybe they turn or various things. Yeah, but they're part of a building and it's just a question of how high up. Sometimes when you're in those buildings, you begin to imagine, what if something happens and you have to get to the ground floor and, you know, you just put your faith in Jesus. But
I like it. That you
Yeah,
fly.
that you-
You mean like Bernard, like August down.
What?
What was saying with that fly? Bedward saying with that fly.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, it's wonderful that at this time, you know, people are looking at Jamaica. These are children from the diaspora, really.
your favorite.
They've lived
your
away.
favorite people.
And we know they're
And
coming here
back.
with
They're coming back. They're bringing it back.
This one I might be a little doubtful, but
You want more of those people.
It's great that they're coming and they're wanting to do things and they're coming to do interesting things. Pastor Percival, what do you have lined up for the weekend?
Me?
Yes.
My daughter is coming home. Oh, jeez. Oh.
That's what she has lined up for the weekend. She's coming home. But no, I know there's a conference going. There's a conference which you told me about on Saturday morning.
What?
Isn't it? Are you going? You still going?
I'm not so sure.
What is it? Youth and mentorship?
Youth and mentorship. Let me just pull it up quickly.
I mean, it's just the kind of thing that is necessary.
Transformation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the greatest thing for me is that my daughter is coming home. What's lined up for me? My daughter come home. I miss her, you know. Miss her.
You miss her?
No, but she's going, but miss her, you know, she can't always, you know. You know, somebody online, somebody is listening, but we don't see them on the chat. It is done in Europe and USA, the genuine Dinner in the Sky official. There's a web.
Yes.
The web. Yeah.
Oh, yes. If you finish reading it, it tells you the great success that it is across Europe and the
Europe, yeah.
Europe and the USA. And some people might say, well, it's not everything they do will translate
we don't want that.
with the same success here. But I think because we... and insurance.
When you think about that, you know?
No, you know, you make a good point there because of the shooting which took place near Jamaica House.
Yes.
The father of one of the young men tweeted or X'd, whatever you say now.
He
X'd. He tweeted that he had to drive all the way from Cherry Gardens down to the scene and carry his son for emergency care at the hospital. And I wasn't sure if he was complaining or if he was celebrating the fact that, you know, he lives near to the
That was near? Cherry Garden not near to Jamaica House.
Well, it's nearer than if you were in St. Thomas and hear that your son gets shot.
That's true, but it's even at that point in the morning.
What he wrote though made me think that the truth of the matter is, where is the emergency ambulance medical care that could arrive unseen when someone is shot? Because the parent of the child had to come and do the work. So I was thinking, well, it's a way different from being slung over the shoulder and thrown in the back of a police jeep. It's a different experience. But it seems he is mourning the absence of critical care, mobile critical care that can respond. And we don't have that. So yes, if the crane were to collapse, we'd be in trouble. I don't know.
That's what Earl Brown asking us.
What's it, man?
What if the runs start?
I think Earl wants to know if the table come with a toilet. Well, Earl, we don't know if one of the provision is diapers, because they say pilots in the fighter planes, they're dressed to accommodate relieving themselves without taking a pit stop. So it look like you don't want to be a fighter pilot.
A fighter jet pilot anymore. Wait until you come down.
Oh. Wow.
So like he's coming down here. It's just above us.
It's right. We have to, wow. But it sounds, I don't think anyone can hear us over the noise of, that's a different craft. It doesn't sound, no, that's different. Well, every Thursday we're here and we can hear and see the Prince of the Nation, firstborn Prince, are going to work in his helicopter. And I know the sound of it. That sounds like a helicopter mated with a jet or a fighter plane and created something ferocious. Even now that it's landing, right? It's going on the helipad. Yeah, it's a different one. No, man, they're different creature. He has upgraded. Earl could probably tell us because it probably come out of Canada. Maybe it's from Russia with all the things that are loosening up in Russia now that some of the oligarchs are having to. Yes.
And it's 8:31.
And it also kind of vibrated the ear. At this, can you imagine? Yeah. We're going to take our break now and meditate on the new craft that Mr. Leachin is now driving to work or flying to work. It's a whole different beast. We're on break. Yes.
Vejan Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Vejan Printers, your best choice in printing.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
Believe me, it's so easy. I want 2, 3. Best FM 100.1, 100.3, 100.5, 7 and 9. Hey, yeah.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
We are something special on the road.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
Here we are, standing in your presence.
Glory Connect. Join us on Bess FM with Apostle Prophetess Denise Wellington and Pastor Alicia Gonzalez Morgan every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Bess FM Radio. Come out and discover your purpose. Take up that phone and dial now. Call and experience something new. Experience something great. Experience your own expression of encountering the supernatural glory of God's abundant life and transformation being fulfilled. What are you waiting for? Are you depressed, oppressed, worn out, tired, or stressed? Have you discovered your true purposes yet? This is the moment. What are you waiting for? Connect now to Glory Connection. Call and experience the Word of God, intercession, healing, and deliverance. Experience something great. Receive salvation and breakthrough. Connect. Tell a friend, family, and your neighbor. See you then.
Love more, 'cause you open up the Live, camera, volume. Live it up Fridays on Bess 100 FM. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with I, Ibi Lion, each and every Friday. Giving you the better vibes, heard everywhere.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I ever met. You're simply the best.
Bess FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Let me son help you. Get healthy, my friends. Stay balanced. Tune into this station, Bess FM 100, every Saturday morning, 8 o'clock to 9, for this wonderful program, Your Health Today, with me, Dr. Clarion Palmer. Yes, get healthy, get healthy, get healthy. Stay balanced. Bess FM 100, Saturday morning, 8 o'clock, with me, Dr. P. Get healthy.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess 100 FM.
Welcome back. Oh, wow. It's difficult to get into the last segment of the show. This is a beautiful, beautiful day. I've not seen it better. Just like hard, bright, golden sunshine, a light breeze, and on cue, birds are singing in the background.
Butterflies flying about.
And yeah.
I saw them over there.
You sure it wasn't a fly? Oh, yes, definitely butterflies. But no, it's an amazingly beautiful morning. Sorry, Earl. I do love your question, though. Earl wants to know, with this restaurant in the sky, what if there's an urgent need to use the toilet and it's not number one? I don't know. I don't suppose they keep dropping people down. Maybe. We don't want to be the one to find out. But obviously, sanitation must be a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Remember in Crab Circle?
Oh, no. Do not say crab circle.
Yeah,
Hopefully they won't have crab on the menu.
No.
I won't find out. And yes, Earl, there is a cat walking in the background.
Yes.
As we talk about belling the cat. I want to touch on a little, it seems, I didn't even hear of it when it happened, but you know the Gleaner. Anything that looks like it's threatening freedom of speech or freedom of the press, they're going to highlight it. So Grenada,
the young guy, the young man.
Grenada barred, I'm going to say the Jamaican press, they barred media representatives from the swearing-in ceremony of their new cabinet ministers, sparking outrage from Media Workers Association of Grenada. It is regarded as an unprecedented action which marks a worrying departure from the country's history of press freedom. But let us please remember that the first invasion of the Caribbean, well, not the first if you count the Bay of Pigs, but recent memory invasion of the Caribbean was courtesy of Grenada. Don't ramp with Grenada because they're small. And here we are talking about with a population of barely 114,000 persons. 114,000 persons, you know. There are some people. There are some people who have more than that on their Instagram follower. No, true.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Media, social media, and the impact.
There's some social media crowd bigger than Grenada's 114 persons. You've been there.
Yeah, man.
Did you find it beautiful?
Yeah, it is. And the interesting thing when I go to those countries, because there's so small, I try to go around and see all the different things there. She's a lawyer there, Francine Foster, and some other people. Yeah, but I find it interesting. He's a very young guy, and he's not. I don't think he's even 40 yet.
Grenada Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell. Yeah, he looks like a Nigerian.
He led a kind of grassroots movement and overthrow. Is Mitchell? Mitchell? Yes, Mitchell?
So, I don't. Maybe it's something growing in the Caribbean, but having barred the media from the swearing-in ceremony, the Press Association demanded an apology from the government and an assurance that such restrictions would not occur in the future. In response, the government declared a 24-hour period of silence towards the press and refused to supply journalists with visuals and details about the event. The move was delayed. I feel that they're maybe drinking from the same stream that our government is using to refresh themselves, and refused to supply journalists with visuals and details about the event. The move was the latest in a series of actions designed to limit media access to the government, coming on the heels of the removal of regular post-cabinet briefings and a government official limiting information sharing with the media on a need-to-know basis. Yes.
I remember when they come in, we used to have post-cabinet briefing and it stopped, and then they started it up again, but they changed the day that it used to happen.
So the press is urging various civil society groups in Grenada to join them in condemning the government's press restrictions, seeking broader support to address this concerning development. And says the Gleaner, this is the Jamaica Gleaner, who wrote this? Because they kind of say all this in a country barely 21 miles wide, as if size have anything to do with power or the abuse of power. Now, why Grenada, the government of Grenada has gone in that direction, I'm trying to see if I will read it and educate myself, because one thing we know is that these things is like a virus. It's catching. One island does something, the next one improve on it, and before you know it, CARICOM is something of an altogether different nature. Well, and you know, Percy, we talk about the seasons, reaping and sowing. We know that this didn't come out of nowhere.
Something happened?
Yeah, something happened. We know that this is the result of some seed sown in the past, or whether it's far distant past or recent past, which is now bearing fruit.
Yeah. And as persons who, spiritual persons who understand the laws that he has set up. Remember it with the covenant that Noah, well, God said it when he set us into the beautiful Garden of Eden, according to Sister, the beautiful garden.
Yes, Sister Elaine.
He set us parameters and framework. After the removal and we came back again, there's seed time and harvest. So if you sow something, just expect that you're going to reap something. In some of the time near, some of the time medium, but some of the time long term. And unfortunately, when the seed is a long-term seed, it's difficult to remove it.
Yeah.
When it becomes a big tree, it's tough. Yeah. So, which is one of the things in terms of corruption in this young democracy of ours, that it was sown at the very beginning in terms of some of the things that happened. Remember the missing schools?
Oh, isn't that from in the 50s?
Yeah, 50s, yeah. The missing school, Edwin Allen and the missing schools. Oh,
we're
Lord.
Still suffering on it.
We're still suffering on it. That something was supposed to have really done a significant investment in education because they knew that access to secondary education was limited. And we're supposed to have 100 and you only end up with 50? And nobody can account for it. Oh,
yeah.
my Lord.
Yeah. Well, we are at the point now where we begin to say our thank yous. And I'm just reflecting on the discussions that we've gone through this morning. We have cause to be concerned about what's happening at the highest levels of authority in our country. We have cause to be concerned, and however we want to discuss it or approach it, the end result must be each Jamaican making a decision to get involved. Get involved in some way. Pick your spot that you're most comfortable and capable to address, and do something. Do not make the mistake of thinking it is another man's fight. It is our fight. Be reminded of the words from Mordecai, uncle to Esther. If you do nothing, help will come from another source, but you and your family will be condemned. We're seeing it being played out right in front of our eyes. Jamaicans, just get on the side of righteousness and justice where this one is concerned. Don't try and sit it out. Don't think that help is coming from somewhere else and it's going to benefit you. Help will indeed come because the Lord is not unjust. He is merciful and he is faithful to his words. And he knows that if, you know, Percival, I was going over it with Lowell the other morning, when it was revealed to Abraham that the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah were to be destroyed, Abraham boldly stepped in as negotiator and said, but what if you have 50 people there? The Lord said, for 50 I will save it. Then he said, but suppose it's short by 5. I loved the way he structured the argument. Having said 50, he then said, what if it's short by 5? Would you still destroy it for lack of 5? And it went down to the point where they said 10, if we find 10.
And they couldn't.
And they couldn't, because the Lord knows more than Abraham did. But in the end, how many? 4?
Yeah.
4 were permitted to flee. Of course, 3 survived because 1 couldn't resist looking back. The point of the matter is God is not unjust, because he was going in knowing that Lot was living there, and family, children, son-in-laws, and so on, sons-in-laws. He revealed to his prophet, this is what's going down. And with boldness, and this is the point I'm making, we are here. We, Percy and myself, are calling out on a daily basis up to Thursday. Monday to Thursday is our daily basis. We're calling out some of the things as we see it. And you know that these are not things which are going to work for the best health of the nation. Be bold enough to say, let me do something to secure a better result for my country. If I am in a place of authority and I see things going down and I'm to give advice, or I am to stop something somewhere, let me be the one to stop it. If it overwhelmed and it gone, at least the Lord knew that a righteous person stood up and did what counted.
And the more we understand that.
And you will save yourself and your household.
And so it is, the time is now for persons of conscience to stand in this country and to say no more. We have not only think about ourselves, but our children's children. What future do we want for this country? We're not going the way of a banana republic. And people understand what a banana republic is.
We won't have time to explain it, because some people barely see a banana these days. much less enough.
Have a banana republic. It is where one man just dictates everything, and there's no accountability,
none to stand against him. None. Everyone just falling in line. Oh, may that not be the future of Jamaica. Such a brave, bold, strong country with a history of effecting change way above our weight class.
Yeah, and so
for us to die like this, it shall not be.
Shall not be. It is not. I declare boldly, it is not in the purpose and the plans of God for Jamaica. And let us understand that. And if we won't do it, then he will step in.
He'll do it, yes.
We're going to step in and bring about the real change that needs to happen. So this is our Friday.
Yes, Thursday is the new Friday.
Yeah,
we're heading out.
Exciting. A very powerful week in my life. I celebrated 30 years of being married, but I also celebrated my mom's 88th birthday. And I said it to you yesterday, to have her siblings 80, 82, 88 in one location was amazing for me. I thank God for that. And I honor the elders in our nation for what you have, the impact you have made in our lives and the part you have played to establish it. We're not going to allow it to go so. Too much sacrifice.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you on air and online for journeying with us this morning. And right here in our outdoor studio, Lowell, Percival, back at the studio. Lloydie, have a great weekend, everyone, and just thank you.
And Miss Wyways, who follows us.
Yeah, stay tuned for Miss Wyways coming on at 10.
Crank it up. You got your radio locked on to the hottest station.
Best 100 FM.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turntables activated. Get ready. You're about to party. Party
with Best 100 FM. Playing in a class superb by itself.
Hopeless sinners who has